Welcome everyone back to another stock market open live stream. We have a half day today. I guess it's not really a half day because technically you got 4.5 hours of open. You're cutting off the latter 2, so it's like a shortened day. People see it often as a half day. But anyway, stock market closes at 11 today. It is also the last day of the month, which is often when you get some profit taking, though we really haven't seen profit taking all month. In fact, it's kind of been more investing than it's been profit taking. So I don't know if we're going to end up seeing that today. Futures were really green, and they've given up some of their really greenness as we've gotten into the pre-market trading hours here. We've seen, let's see, what have we seen this morning? We saw Nvidia in the pre-market was doing pretty decently, and it's just sort of been bleeding into the open here. That's kind of been leading NAS into this little bleed mode as well, although it had a little bit of a bump here just in the last 15 minutes or so. Super micro, I see like no news on this. I personally think this is just another opportunity to pick up volatility. In fact, in the alpha report this morning, you'll see I put a little option idea in there that has a potential 15% yield that I think could be desirable. Obviously, comes with risks, but then we've got and it has to do with an option play on this. Ever since Basent was chosen to sort of cool off some of those Trump fears of tariffs and a lack of Fed independence, you've seen bullishness on TLT. We're now going to be knocking on the door of $94 again. This has just been a hellish position to hold if you held through this roller coaster. But I think we're finally, the bottom is in. We're finally on the trajectory up. Basent really helped with that. And now, frankly, all it's going to take is some economic data that's a little less rosy than expected. Kind of like what you see going on in China or what you see going on in Europe. It's just not going to take a lot to really drive TLT up, in my opinion, and I think the rise of it is just getting started. So we'll see. It is Black Friday, so I know a lot of people are going to be spending dollar dollars today. I'm curious, what are you going to spend money on today? Hopefully, you're spending money on at least the Trumponomics course. It's a really good deal. It's on, honestly, for what you're getting, real estate analysis. We'll even analyze, if you put a deal in escrow, I'll analyze it for you. Stock options, crypto, stock trade alerts, business growth strategies and marketing, entity management, tax management. The tax portion, the tax strategies under Trump are going to be huge. And we're going to be updating that as new laws pass under Trump. So it's not like we're trying to predict everything that Trump is going to do, right? This is a really incredible one. So check this out. You can also bundle up if you want in the checkout window for some of the other ones if you want to get your learning started early. But that sale, that coupon will end today. Black Friday sale live now. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes to go to the bell. You've got Enphase barely positive here. Yelp has been a slow climber. Watch this one. I personally, I'm exposed to Yelp, but I bought it because I think it's fundamentally cheap and they've actually got really good cash flow. I think people forget to look at the free cash flow yield on something like this, and it's like 8%. It's remarkable. So I'm pretty excited about what I'm seeing over here at Yelp. And then I'll also jump in over, let's take a peek at Palantir. It's really getting rejected by that line up there, that 67 line. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if we can pop through it today. I'm more interested today, though, in seeing if the Qs go positive, I think Bitcoin goes bearish. If the Qs stay positive, even barely, Bitcoin might get back to 78. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Let's hit the bell. Oh, I do not hear the bell. Oh, Kevin's it's not working. Okay, I'll be the bell for us. Ding, 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 ding. Yay! Woo! All right. Hey, everyone's happy. Things are slightly green. I will fix what's going on over there. Okay, so let's see how things are opening up. Only 10 basis points right now on the Qs. Nice little drop there right at the open. There we go. Let's double check that.
2010, right after the financial crisis, to try to bring
There's
back
Sarah. Sarah's working for the. See, they need Sarah instead of Jim. Like, can we please start a petition to have Sarah every day? Sorry, 78. No, I meant 98. My fault. Can we just have Sarah every day instead of Jim? I don't know. To me, this would be great.
Big business, because they're still dealing with issues like wage inflation and rent inflation and availability of workers and all the things that have been issues for big business, but big business has sort of moved on to. So obviously, key component of our economy, of hiring. I think there still is plenty of demand for workers. We'll get the job report next week, but it just hasn't been as rosy of a picture in terms of the small business sentiment. Something we'll watch post-election.
And we've talked about sort of what's been weighing on it, certainly. But we did set a record this year for new business applications in the United States.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yes.
Good business formation, good sign of confidence, animal spirits. Look, the market's having another good day, another good week, another good month, and a pretty good year now. Going into the final stretch of the year here.
26% on the S&P and 27% on the NASDAQ counts as a good year.
Yeah, that's
pretty good.
In fact, at the beginning of this year, I think, in our conversations with so many of these strategists and the like who follow the
they were wrong again.
Market, yeah, they would not have anticipated a gain like this. Certainly not coming off of a 20+% gain the year.
Yeah, the last 2 years were pretty remarkable. So let's see if we can hold it. So my take is bullish BTC. If you can hold above 97.4, you just tested it. It literally just touched 97.4, but you got rejected on it. And if we go bullish at 97.4, then you go MicroStrategy, then you go Coinbase at that point. But until then, kind of gonna watch. I want to see how and right now, unfortunately, you've got the Qs that are about to lose the lead. It's pretty dang close. You're only up about 2 basis points right now. Not great. Also, if you don't yet follow me on X, I just posted a little a petition to replace Jim Cramer on X. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Oh, look at this volatility you're getting here. Back to 10 basis points. All right, so we'll watch that. NVIDIA's got 1% to it, trying to bob around. Apple's actually at pretty good levels, 232 has been a great place for Apple. It finally got out of the 220s. Not bad. Tesla's got 1% to it. Let's go. Hood's finally trending back towards 40. We've been talking about this one in the alpha report since it was like $29. I'm like, come on, it's probably going to go to 40. It's been a little bit of slow, but then again, what's a month? Like for it to move from 30 to 40 in a month, it's actually pretty good. All right, here we go. Green candle on Tesla. Let's go. There's the 97.4. We're coming alive on BTC. Let's go. Are we gonna hey, if Tesla runs, I don't know that it will. I didn't actually write down that I thought it would have the momentum today. I actually don't think it will have the momentum today. But if it pulls momentum, the momentum hat out of the bag, remember, folks, 347. And look at the room you have between 336 and 347. There's a lot of room. Just know if you're playing options today, you might not be able to buy options anymore after 10 a.m., which is in 2.5 hours because the half day and they stop trading. A lot of brokerages are going to stop trading for you for an hour early on some of the buys on 0 days. Yeah, I don't see the momentum today on Test. So I can't make the bet. But you got my eye on it. So, okay, what else do we have here? TLTIS, you help. What else here? What else? Hood. Reddit. Nah, these aren't really big movers over here. Yeah. MicroStrategy's kind of been at 4% all day long. So pretty good. Cody's asking prediction on mortgage rates for the next 6 months. Straight down. I don't know. My guess is over the next 6 months, honestly, we could be down at least 2%. At least. But I could be wrong on that. I've been expecting 2025 to be bullish for rates coming down, bullish for bonds, basically, is when you say that. Dave's another one that's sort of been moving around. Really got to get my fundy done on this one. This is bought No, I don't know much about this one. So I've kind of just been watching it. I started watching it over in this range over here. This is why sometimes people say, "Oh, do the fundamental analysis later and just buy it." I'm like, "Yeah, no thanks." But yeah, I mean, this one's obviously done exceptionally well. I mean, look, it went from like $40 to now 95, and it just keeps going. But I've seen plenty of those moves where as soon as you start chasing them, you buy at the top, and then you kind of follow them down. And it just sucks. Still can't hold 97.4. I don't know why 97.4 on BTC was important for me today, but I think Jesus himself came to me this morning and said, "Kevin, 97.4." Okay, no, it didn't actually happen. I also don't know why this is loading, but yeah, I lean bearish today. Yeah, in fact, I think I said that. Did I say that in the alpha report this morning? Let me see. Sometimes I can't remember what I read. I think I put it on did I put it under mood? Oh yeah, I leaned slightly bearish today. It's the end of the month, and taking profits could show prudence at funds. Yeah. I still agree with that. I mean, Symbotic's down 2%. Why? So no particular news there. Oh, I got a green candle on Qs. All right, let's go get some news. Let us get the news. Somebody says, "Why aren't you live on YouTube?" I am live on YouTube. I'm on the Market Live channel. I'm surprised. We've been doing the Market Live channel, I feel like, for many months. I guess some people still don't know, but that's okay. It's all right. We'll hook you up. Yeah, just type in Meet Kevin Market Live, and you'll see it. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, the sale on the Trumponomics course, I think, is a steal, honestly. I mean, I think this is like the lowest price. It's a pre-sale, so there's no content yet, but still, it's like the lowest price course I feel like I've had. It's all new content, and it's really just dedicated to 2025, right? But lowest priced course we've had in I feel like years. And it's just designed. It's really designed for everybody. There are college students that are like, "Kevin, I need a way to get started." There are people who have $5 million, $10 million who are like, "Kevin, I need give me one tax strategy to get to the next level." Everybody is going to win, in my opinion, under this. I'm so confident in the value we're going to provide in this. We'll have something for everyone. So I'm pretty excited about that. Some of you were texting back in the alpha report yesterday. You're like, "Hey, are entities going to be included?" Yes, a lot of talk about entities, liability, taxation around entities is going to be included. Some of you are asking about entrepreneurship and negotiations, both very, very important. Brand building, right? It's actually, if you think about it, that's kind of what Donald Trump is, right? He's a brand. And so we'll take that inspiration, and a lot of that will be in the course. So shout out to Robert, Karen, Daniel, Dylan, Nick, Timothy. You didn't put your name, you just put your email, so I'll just say Medj. Melinda, Susan, Dylan, thank you so much for joining. All those of you just now joined, so thank you. Shout out to y'all. Okay, so what else we got here? Well, Palantir actually goes positive again, up 1%. Still looking for news on what's going on Super. I think this is just your daily sort of volatility on it. I personally, it's great. You kind of go into one like this expecting, I picked this one up around 22-ish or whatever, and I don't see a single schmidge of news on it. Although somebody I saw in the chat was saying there was a fake delisting notice going around, and Supermicro submitted a plan to NASI. Let's see here. Hearing rumors about a fake delisting letter spreading around. Yeah. Who knows? Whatever. Okay. So where do we stand? Hey, look at the Qs though. Oh, hey, Bitcoin over 97.4. You just follow the catalyst. See if it could. I don't know why it doesn't load, but it looks like they got a bug there on the crypto side of Weeble over here. Come on, Weeble. What is this? But it's over 97.4. That's bullish. That was my target. If it stays over 97.4, my take is you go 98. And if you're looking for a day trade, I think MicroStrategy and Coin 320. See, MicroStrategy hasn't moved from its consolidation yet, right? So MicroStrategy has not moved out of consolidation yet Bitcoin is starting to try to break out. If the prediction of leaning bearish is wrong, that's okay. You could either be stubborn or you could adjust. And Coinbase, if this holds, I think Coinbase goes to 320. So this is your upside right here. If we can hold that 97.4, that's my take. So we'll see. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? Let us grab the market news. Market news. It's getting ready to go to Italy. No, I'm actually not, but that would be really cool. Still gotta get more pilot lessons in. I think I'm at 6.7 hours. Let me see what I got. I know there are a lot of pilots in here. Shout out to y'all. I respect the industry so much. This is the one industry where, like you miss something on a checklist. It's just the difference between life and death. 6.7 hours. Had my first instrument landing the other day. That was kind of cool. Right through a cloud. They're like, oh yeah, the clouds will break at 600. And we're like, it's at 600. It's at 500. Our minimums were 3, but still we're like, anyway, it was really cool. Okay, so, what is this? Restaurant sales can recover in 20. Stalls, yes. No spins yet. But lots of stalls. Stalls are easy. I think like the planes come out of stalls so fast. It's surprising. No solo yet, no. Somebody here says UK private helicopter. Nice, Carl. I actually had a helicopter discovery flight for Wednesday, and they canceled it because of the fog that day. I was going to go right from the instrument landing to heli, and they're like, yeah, no. Like, all right, fine then. All right, let's see what we got here with the restaurant sales. This is interesting because restaurants have just been getting reamed, honestly. It's been really bad. And what's really fascinating is if you look at a company like Red Robin, I personally think they're likely to go, you're coming back to 97.4. Be careful. You really need to hold that 97.4. Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. Look at a company like Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. If you look at their fundamentals, I honestly think they are likely to go bankrupt within the next year. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of saying, "Oh yeah, let's go in and short it," because like we've always say in here, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. That's basically a nod to you getting screwed if you get some kind of meme up or whatever, even though you're fundamentally right. So this is why betting against the stock is just a bad idea. But Red Robin's balance sheet is terrible. So, and their sales are bad. Actually, I want to send this snippet out because I think this is actually valuable insight. Is it though? Yeah. Okay. Bolero. So Bolero is actually a public company. And yesterday I took Jack bowling, and you might be wondering, okay, Kevin, what does this have to do with the stock market? A lot, actually. So yesterday, I'm going to write this down. Yesterday, the front desk at our local Bolero warned me that they might shut down the bowling lanes early today. I went at 7 p.m. on Thanksgiving. It was dead. Okay. I said, are you usually open? She said, yes, we're 365 every year. So they're just basically always open, right? And I said, have you ever closed on Thanksgiving before? And her response, no, this would be the first time. It's been a lot slower than we expected it would be. Kind of interesting. I mean, for what it's worth, I can't say it's like a huge macro signal, but honestly, it sort of aligns with what you're seeing anyway with consumers. So maybe it's not a horrible shocker of a surprise, but it is something where you kind of start going, okay, all right, like, what does this mean for the economy broadly? So I find that very interesting. Okay, so that's interesting. I cannot make a post on eHack. Something is broken. It will not let me log in. Rip. Draft maybe. Published. Let's try that. Submit. Error creating post. Oh no. Oh, let me try this. I'll try to force it in. I want to post that on the success. I have succeeded. I have done it. Okay, good. That's solved. All right, great. By the way, little spoiler alert. Obviously we've got the Trumponomics course, but look, back over 97.5. 30 basis points on the Qs now. Nice. We've got the Trumponomics course, but something else that we're also working on is bringing eHack to mobile. So I know a lot of you have been asking for that. DJT at 1%. So like a mobile application. Little spoiler alert, but I think that'll be really cool because then you can also click like what notifications do you want if you want notifications. I only want crypto news, or I only want real estate news, or I only want political news, or whatever. So I think that'll be nice. Yeah, no, I don't think you have enough momentum here to really get through, get to 347 on Tesla today. I do see the run here, which is nice. And that's not me trying to be bearish. I just don't think today has as much momentum. So, yeah. It's a staff labor issue. They don't want to work that day. It began in the pandemic. Well, maybe. Let's see here. Okay. Somebody says, what's the options volatility on Volkswagen? It's selling for 2020 levels. Is that true? Let me see. Volkswagen would be, I think they're VOW. Right? Let's see. No. What is Volkswagen? Volkswagen. Oh, it's an OTC. I did not know that. VWAPY. Oh yeah, ADR. VWAPY. Oh, there's like no volume on this. Oh wow. Wow. All right, let's look at the volatility on this sucker. Very, it's not very anything actually. It's mid-range right now. But wow, that's crazy, huh? Look at that. When did it become an ADR? 2018, it became an ADR. Yeah, that's crazy. You are trading at COVID lockdown levels. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, that's nuts. Okay, Qsy doos. Still holding on over here. Yeah, and so's NVIDIA. There's BTC. I don't know why the chart's missing. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to look at restaurant sales. So let's see here. Restaurant sales per Doomers. All right, let's see what they have. Okay, U.S. restaurant sales may improve in 25 as restaurants lap a bad 2024. Okay, rising stock, crypto, housing prices may also boost higher income spending. That's probably true. Low-end consumers could remain tight, but quick service chains like Taco Bell and Domino's. Doomers are bullish. Domino's and Taco Bell for lower end. Domino's is great, and honestly, it's making me pretty hungry. I like McDonald's as a play in sort of recessionary environments. If there is a recessionary environment, So let's see. Oh, Symbotic regained its full 2% red, and now it's green. All right. Let's see what else we have here. A lot of green actually right now. Got to give it to it. Lots of green, lots of green. Yeah, nope. Tesla can't get through 340. It's not a lot of real like strong momentum to keep that trade going. Here's micro a bit, but that's not a lot. And then coin actually slowly started melting a bit, just not holding strong enough above that 97.4. Although it's above 97.4. It hasn't broken down since we've watched it. And to me, that's a sign it's going to 90 into the 98s. And this goes into 98s. MicroStrategy and Coin do really well. So the fact that it's going 97.8 and Coin is negative or just gained the lead again, that's bullish Coin in my opinion. But let's see if it holds. Okay. What else? Sun runs up a little bit. Rivian down a smidge. Microsoft almost down 1% on Microsoft. Okay. Mortgage companies. Looks like mortgage companies are up a little bit. Probably because the bond markets move. Let's go TL Tizzle. Yeah. Slow little climb there. Nice controlled ascent. Let's see here. Super, any news? No. Are you going to sell Super Micro? My plan is not to sell Super Micro until it gets closer to my price target, which is $87. Oh, the 10 years down 4.5 bips. Let's go. Let's freaking go. You know what you could do with those tendies? With those tendies, you could go to meetkevin.com and check out on the Trumponomics course. I really think the value and perspective you're going to get here is going to be unmatched for next year. I think this is just going to be the best-selling course. It's probably going to sell for 3 to 4 times what it's selling for right now, since it's on pre-sale, right? It's on pre-sale. If you really want content immediately, you can grab the checkout offer on the bundle there. But otherwise, this will be out December 17th, which is really exciting. Shout out to those of you joining. Alfonso, Brad, Richard, Michael, Tyler, Brian. Thank you so much for signing up just in the last few minutes here. Okay, so let's look at the yield curve. Okay, 4.5 BIP dudes on the 10. All right, what about the 2s? 2, yeah. Oh, Tesla's trying to go back to 340 break. Coin goes nice and green. Yep, Bitcoin's about to break 98. Okay, all right. We've been saying it. We hold 97.4. Bitcoin breaks 98. And that is bullish MicroStrategy and Coinbase on the day. Coinbase to 320. That's the MO. I mean, Tesla's showing some momentum right now. It's about to hit 340. I don't think it can get to 347 today, but I could be wrong. I mean, the Qs are up 40 basis points right now. My target in a bullish scenario was that they'd cap out at about 508. You're about 507.29 right now. On Wednesday, I thought they'd go to 505 in the bear scenario. They literally went to 505. Anyway, the 2-year right now, wow. Look at this, folks. We are only 2 basis points uninverted. That's it. Let's type that in. St. Louis Fred 10-2 curve. Boom, skitty booms. What do we? Wow. Yeah, we are so bobbing around over here. Let's average this out a little bit. Let's go with weekly ending Friday. Oh, we are so below that. Let's go weekly ending Wednesday. That shows a little bit more of that decline. Okay, now I want to compare that to here. 06, baby. Similar. It's looking oddly similar. Oh, shout out to Ramon. Ramon just got the Trumponomics course and then added the financial advice library. Now, that's an interesting one. That's basically, it's so cheap, the library. We're kind of almost throwing that one in for like pennies for what it's worth. But basically, I went through like 37 people's situations as an actual financial advisor. And I respond to their situations with, here's the best next thing you should do. So it's not like here's your 10-year plan. It's like, here's the missing piece of where you're getting stuck right now. Here's the best next thing for you to do. I personally found that was really important for people is not some 5-year grandiose plan, stop spending money at Starbucks and invest in the S&P 500. Like, okay, everybody already knows that. Old news. No. A real financial advisor needs to get in there and go, listen, we need to deal with this first. It's kind of like, I think of it like triage. When you're a paramedic and you got to save somebody's life in that golden hour, are you going to deal with the fact that they're hungry or that they have a bullet wound? You're going to deal with the bullet wound first. We're not even going to talk about a 5-year plan for your hunger and your diet. We're going to deal with the bullet wound. And so I found that really was very, very useful for people. And so Ramon just got to pick that up. That's only 99 as sort of a extra there. It gives you something to start watching right away. Nice. Good choice, Ramon. All right, what do we got over here at the Synthesis?
What's more interesting, getting back to your guys' previous conversation, China. What does the Trump administration say to Mexico about allowing the Chinese to set up auto manufacturing?
Wow, Sim just rallied from -2 to almost 4%. NVIDIA is now at 2%. Oh, Bitcoin 98. That's a sign. That's a sign.
Nice PP. W. Long PP.
Yeah. So anyway, that's bullish, and it should be pumping coin and micro. There's still a little stable. Might be it's either wrong or an opportunity to get in. I think that going from 97.4, holding that was the sign we were going to go to 98. Can we now hold 98? That should be 320. My take. We'll see. All right. Well, Vivi. Okay, they already went on commercial. Freaking losers. Fine, I'll go to the Doomers. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, they're on commercial too? Bro, what is this? I don't want to see that. You put Sarah Eisen back on screen. This is ridiculous. I need to wash my vision of that. There. Petition to replace Jim Cramer with Sarah Eisen for Market Open every day. Yeah. Please know we need him. That's funny. All right. What else is going on? Q's the dues. The pump keeps going. No dump today. Where's the profit taken? I don't know, but it ain't here today. Going for 340 on TESS. Why, NVIDIA? Look at that run on NVIDIA. Some bullishness. And end phase. Another 1.6. Yelp up 75. Super Micro's got its vol. I wonder what the puts are going for right now. I might sell some puts on this sucker today, honestly. I'm going to go sell puts 30. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at that pricing. 470 midpoint. I mean, you could go at the money, basically, and get a 570, dude. Holy crap. Okay, so go 580. $5.80. January 17th puts, okay? Divided by 32 bucks. Bro, it's an 18% yield right now. Oh, at the money, 18% for 3 months. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, obviously, if it goes down, you're going to have a problem, right? Because, for every contract you buy, you're promising to buy this at $32. So that's $3,200. You buy 10, it's cost you $32,000. But the yield you're going to get on it, it's like $6,000. Obviously, if tomorrow you have a big bounce up day, you're going to recognize some good tendies there rapidly on sold puts. Bitcoin keeps going. Now that's above 98. The coin should be 320 then. Slowly moving up. So is micro. There are the legs. Legging up. As expected. Oh, you're at 508. That's my ceiling for today on the Qs. That's interesting. That's pretty good.
Stock market closes at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and it looks like
Kevin, in your heart of hearts, gun to your head, do you see a recession coming next year? Yes. Yeah, I think it's inevitable. I think I'm early on the call, but I do think it's inevitable. It's honestly it's one of the reasons why. Sorry, this just sounds like shilly or whatever. But it's one of the reasons I'm like, I need to make this. Like, for humanity, I must make the Trump course because I want you to have every possible advantage before that happens. Because the next recession, there will be another recession. We know that. I think it's going to be sooner than a lot of people think. It will be really painful for people. And the more you can prepare now, the more you can build your wealth now, the better. And I'm not talking to like, copy everything that Kevin's doing. That's not the point. Everybody's situation is different. I've got little baby startups I got to feed and take care of. But the strategies, the tax strategies that could save you money, the brand strategies, the entrepreneur strategies, these are things that can make you money between now and then. Hopefully a lot of money. And that just insulates you. It gives you a protective cushion, a blanket. Who doesn't like a soft blanket? Anyway, that was my inspiration for coming up with it. And then, people are like, oh, but things will change under Trump. And then it made me realize, like, I should just have a course that's built for 2025 that as Trump changes stuff, all right, here's the game plan now with this new law. If this passes, here's what the game plan, whatever, right? And for $299, I think it's a steal. And I think that's also why people are bundling up for some of the other upsell options that pop up at the end there. Okay, I said 508 was your ceiling on the Qs today. That's literally where we're rejecting right now is 508. So let's see where this goes. Oh, Jason just got the Trump course and the financial advice library as well. And then Matthew just picked up the Trump course. Welcome aboard. Okay. A little bit of red, a little bit of rejection. Look at that. Couldn't hold 340. Wait, what's BTC doing? It's still barely at 98. Oh, Apple went positive. Okay. All right. Let's see where the day goes today. All right. Come on. Welcome aboard, Alexander. I saw you just checked out. I got a little pop-up.
that's been a good story.
Thanks for joining. I won't let you down. Now let's listen to Sarah.
Wage growth and real wage growth growing faster than inflation. So that's good. I mean, even when we took a dip, we have rebounded from that. We'll get a new report next week on the jobs report for November and see where wages go. But they have been on this sort of steady climb up. And then just the S&P 500 for those that are exposed to the market, trading at a record.
Oh, coin's moving. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Come on, man. That was freaking obvious. It's holding 98 over here too. Hopefully it holds.
Makes one wonder just how the Democrats managed to lose that election, given how strong everything is, Sarah, in a real way.
And you've seen it in the sentiment indexes and the polls that they just felt lousy despite some of these better fundamentals. And I think there is something to that cumulative impact of inflation. We remember in 2019 when, beef prices were a lot lower.
We've discussed that many times. I mean,
and so even if
4 or 5 years is still, as I said the other day, you just going to lunch somewhere nearby where I went and having sticker shock from a number that I remember a number of years ago. That does stick with you. But again, I mean, you just went through a very positive number of things, which obviously augurs well for the incoming administration, at least in terms of what they're inheriting.
They're dealt a pretty decent hand, and the mandate is to keep inflation from going higher, which will be interesting to see how that matches up with the tariff policies, because consumers don't care about the rate of increase of inflation. They care about what they're paying.
Right.
And they're paying more. And that's ultimately, I think, how you explain it.
I think it's interesting that David's been complaining about the $17 sandwich. You just did a bunch of interviews with restaurateurs who are also complaining the inflationary mindset is toxic for everyone.
It's still the number one concern for small business. You see this in the NFIB consumer sentiment or small business sentiment report, which is, yes, price is still high. And look, if you're in the coffee business right now, inflation's not moderating, it's spiking. You've seen that in cocoa prices lately as well, beef prices again. And for some of these prices, We talked to a meat shop owner in New Jersey last week in small business, and he was saying meat prices have never been this high. So again, even though the increases are moderating, it's still really high. And it's
dude, coffee futures right now really high. I mean, they've been going straight up since the summer of 2023 for your March 2025 lot. Wow. Try to look around here at some other commodities.
2021. Our senior markets commentator Mike Santoli is here to break down the action. What happens in December?
Sure.
What happens in January?
Market's very much in let's not overthink it mode. That applies to this holiday week. It applies to the final few weeks.
Coffee year to date up 72%. Cocoa 110% year to date. Holy smokes. Rubber 55%. Wow. This is some crazy numbers. Lumber's up 8%. Palm oil 45%. Jeez. I'm gonna zoom out on palm oil. Who buys palm oil? French fry cookers, right? Not for French fries. Let's go. Let's see what that looked like going back to 2020. Oh yeah, dude, straight up. Wow. Yeah, some of those food costs, that's crazy. All year, straight up. That's nuts. That is nuts. All right. What else? MicroStrategy is running. Coinbase running. Run. And the Q's over 508. Tesla can't break 340. Doesn't have the momentum to do it. Over 98 on BTC. That's what you needed. And 2.5 on NVIDIA. And 6% on Symbotic. Ooh. NVIDIA's only 66. No momentum there. Oh, okay. Some Robinhood didn't really have intraday momentum. It was more pre-market. Piton at 10. Made it. There it goes. It's about almost 5% now. Very, very interesting. Look at that. Straight up on the Qs today. Kevin, wrote your team regarding the new course. Yet to reply. Well, in fairness, yesterday was Thanksgiving. So when did you email? You know, it's kind of hard to expect people to reply on Thanksgiving, but we'll get back to any email today. What did you say, Lynn? Yeah, find out. But yeah, stay tuned. Give folks a chance today to get back to emails. So you can also always buy and then email, we get taken care of too.
Years were all kind of choppy, treacherous. There were bull markets, most of them still, but they definitely had a little bit less of an easy flavor to them. So we'll see if that holds up.
Mike, thank you.
Yeah.
Mike Santoli. Retail, of course, remains front and center this morning. Let's get back to the mall, get more on the biggest day of the year for in-store shoppers. And Courtney Reagan joins us. She's at the Garden State Plaza in New Jersey. Courtney.
Hi, David. I'm sure you wish you were here, right? Traffic has actually picked up here. It's a pretty refreshing shopping day to see all of these shoppers hit the stores. But we're also getting some fresh sales data from Adobe Analytics showing that consumers have already spent a record $6.1 billion online on Thanksgiving Day. That's up about 9% over last year, in line with about what was expected. But when it comes to what customers are searching for when they're shopping, planning online, Captify says Black Friday overall searches actually slightly down on Thanksgiving Day this year, down 8% compared to last year. Those early promotional events might have started to pull forward some of these sales, and these
people started some of these sales really early.
And the word deals were actually up 81% and 78% respectively. So the National Retail Federation does predict that nearly 132 million or 72% of Americans will shop today in store or online, maybe both. For stores, it is expected to be the biggest day of the week and the year, according to Sensormatic. And then the next busiest day is Super Saturday, or that's always the last Saturday right before Christmas. That should be the number 2 busiest shopping day of the year. Adobe Analytics predicts 71% of shoppers will shop online today, spending almost $11 billion. That's up 10% year over year. So that would be the biggest.
Okay, yeah, Lynn, I see your email here. Bro, Lynn, you sent the email yesterday at 11:31 p.m. on Thanksgiving evening. It's 7:10 a.m. the next morning, and you're checking in as to why you haven't gotten a reply? Yes, the answer is yes. The course member live streams are included, and it literally says at meetkevin.com that they're included, and so are the stock alerts. Okay, I will now archive that since you have gotten your response here. That's a good one.
Burlington Stores has the best average performance of retail stocks during this Thanksgiving week since 2019, up an average 10.5%. Gap Inc., though, has the worst average performance over that same time period, down an average of 4.4%. But maybe you're bargain shopping. Sarah?
Okay, thank you, Courtney. I do wish I could be at a mall today. I love Black Friday. Thank you, Courtney Reagan. By the way, S&P hitting a new high as we speak. Our next guest says to bet on names like Walmart, Ulta, and Dick's Sporting Goods here. UBS retail analyst Michael Lasser joins us with his holiday shopping expectations. So why do you think those will be the big winners this holiday season?
Well, first, we think overall.
Wow, man. Qs are almost 509. Tesla doesn't have the momentum, but Bitcoin does. 98.5 right now, and so does Nvidia, almost 3%. This is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, honestly. Nvidia moving like this, I mean, it's just bullish for chips. I think some of the chip sector ETFs are bouncing off some of their 200 days. Let me see here. Semiconductor, SMH. SMH is up 2.5% today. And if I go to the 200-day moving average, we just bounced off the 200-day. Look at this. Look at that. Look how rare to get your semiconductor exposure here. November of 23, August 24, September 24, and here was another chance here. Wow, what a day. No end of month profit taking in sight over here. People taking their tendies, or keeping their tendies rather. Oh, they're still signing up for the Trumponomics course though. Yeah, shout out to those of you taking that Black Friday sale. It'll be the best pricing we've got forever on that. Amazing. Okay, so let's get some more news here. Oh, shout out to Matt, Andrew. Andrew picks up the bundle on the library as well. Timothy, another Andrew, Brian, Jim, Alexander. Those are all the last few ones that signed up. Welcome aboard. Okay, so news. Let me see what we got for news. Newsy doozies. Why is a company like Peloton up, says somebody in the chat? It is up for the memes. Well, it's momentum. The fundamentals are not good, but it's small cap, so people are excited. Okay. Salesforce banks on AI. Yeah, okay, let me see here. Salesforce banks on AI as sales slow. Salesforce earnings should reveal improving demand for enterprise software with their agent force. Yeah, we'll see about that. I remember when AI first came out and they're like, yeah, we have Einstein. And I called them and I'm like, yo, I want Einstein. And they're like, oh, that's just, we just have that on the website. The product's not actually available yet. Good one. Anyway, their earnings are on 12/3. Okay. Fine. What else? Tesla remains stuck. Oh, Tesla. All right, let's write that down there. Catalyst coming up. There's really nothing today, but we do have Salesforce earnings on 12/3. We'll write that down. Then let's look at economic calendar. We are next week. We'll get on 12/2. We'll get ISM, manufacturing, prices, and employment. Oh, we'll get the JOLTS report. Okay. All right. So JOLTS report will be 12/3. JOLTS report expected stable at 7510K versus 7443 last month. ADP employment report. Oh, it's going to be a big week next week. Employment 165K versus 233K last week. Then we'll get that's on 12/4. Also on 12/4, we'll get S&P services, PMIs. We'll get on 12/4 ISM services, prices, paid employment, and index. We will get Challenger job cuts. That one was nasty the last time we saw it. 12/5 Challenger job cuts. Then we'll get 12/6 employment. Oh, they moved it up. Oh, they keep moving it up. Expected at 200K. A few days ago, this was 190K. So expectations going up for the unemployment report. Now that's interesting. People are more bullish on employment right now following probably the Trump election, eh? Very interesting. What's the next line from 102 to B for BTC? Oh, it's like 150. It's crazy. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go. Let me see. I'll pull it up for you. Wow, 77 basis points on the Qs right now. Still not, it's at 509 now. And Bitcoin 98. I don't know what my stupid chart. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was weird. So my next line, I think, is 150. Yeah, 155. Crazy. It's just an extension there. So let's see here. Still no news on Super. I know a lot of people are asking about that one, but there's nothing. Mortgage-backed sector rebounds as election uncertainty resolves. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Mortgage sector rebounds as election uncertainty resolves per Doomers. Let's see here. Well, yeah, probably also because of Besant. Likely also because of Besant. I would write that down. Okay. There we go. Okay. What's this? Klarna? Which countries can I use Klarna, says Lisa? Oh, yeah, if you can't for some reason use a certain BNPL service or whatever, just there are a bunch of them. There's Affirm, PayPal. Email us if you have problems, but it's just gonna be a little slower because there are a lot of emails today at staff@meetkevin.com. So what is this? Matt, I signed up for the Trump course. I'm gonna be sorry. Let's go. Let's see here. Josh is asking, where can I see what you're typing? ehack.com, baby. In fact, I should put at the top. We gotta edit in at the top our little a little mention. Yeah, but I try to put stuff there every day. Black Friday sale at meetkevin.com ends today. Oh, why does it do that? Oh, stop it. This is so annoying. It doesn't let me write .com. It just, there we go. Ends today. Okay. The hyperlinks on this are funny. Well, it keeps wanting to do .co. There we go. Get the Trumponomics course for 2025. There we go. Aha! It has been done. It is done, me lord. Okay. Oh, look at Supermicro recover a little bit. You know, hey, if you sold puts where I said to sell puts, these suckers already recovered. Like, you would have already been up like 10% or more, actually. Probably a little bit more by now. That's very interesting. Yeah, so you can buy them back cheaper now. Almost 99 on BTC. Wow. Huh. Where's my...
Big W.
There we go. Okay. Ooh, even Palantir going back to 97. Wow. Oh, Tesla just broke 340. No way. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. What else we got here? I can't tell if I bought the Trump course or not. Well, you should be able to log in and see if you have it and see if you can see the top lecture there. You can always email us, staff@meetkevin.com. When is Tesla making minivan? They really need to. The 7-seat X just ain't going to cut it. Just not going to cut it. Crowdstrike had earnings. Let's talk about that. All right, let's do it. Crowdstrike. Crowdstrike. Individual company news. So they had earnings on the 26th. How are they moving today? Let's see here. Crowd. Barely moving. Interesting. Yeah, it actually fell after earnings a bit, huh? Okay. Yeah, down 4.2% after EPS outlook missed. That's the problem. You know, a little bit of a miss and these companies just get whacked. That's just the pisser is what it is. There's just so much growthiness demanded. What is this sucker trading for? $349 divided by 349 divided by 3.76 equals 92.8 times. Oh, wow. Okay, and its growth is expected to be 16.8, 23.72, 23.3, 23.59. Oh, wow. It's trading for almost a 4 peg. It's like a 3.8 peg. That's a pricey dollar holla. That's a pricey one. Welcome aboard, Shauna, Casero, Jean, Vafa, Richard. And then, oh, it looks like somebody here bought in their entity name. Mr. Acquisition Partners. That's what I'll call you. Oh, and Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Trumponomics and the Financial Advice Library bundled up a few seconds ago. Welcome aboard. Happy Black Friday. What is this? Michael Tyler, for all the knowledge over the years, keep doing your thing. What's your best guess on the slowdown, Q1, Q2-ish? Well, thanks, man. Appreciate the $20. It's all jobs, man. Yeah, you know, if I had to guess, you probably have, like, there's still hope for a good jobs report here in December for November. And Thomas, welcome aboard. I see you just enrolled in the Trump course. Welcome aboard. There's still hope that we could have a good jobs report that comes out in December here for November, because that's when Trump got elected. And some people think that they were sort of like on the edge of like, do we hire or not? And so some people think, let's just not hire in October. Let's wait until November to hire to see what the election does. And then maybe people hired under Trump. So you could still have a good 1 or 2 jobs reports here. I think the jobs reports of January, February, which come out in February, March, Those are really going to be my radar. And those are going to tell me, like, to me, that's the runway. Like January, February is the runway. And if January, February is the runway, then we're going to know, are we doing this with the plane? And are we hitting the gas again? You know, it's like we're going to go missed approach on this sucker. So we're hitting the jets full throttle. Can we go again, right? Like that's kind of like what Q4 will look like. Like, oh crap, election, Trump full throttle, go, 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 go. And you just make it up. Or Jan Feb will be like, I don't know, we're gonna make it way too low. So I don't know. I think Jan Feb is when you get that answer. Well, we'll see. We will see. Let's see here. Somebody says Canoe is heading to bankruptcy. So the Trump course comes out on December 17th. I'm working to see if there's a way I can, and it's going to take me a few days. It's not going to happen probably at the earliest until next week. But I'm working for ways to get people who sign up for the Trump course now to get in at least earlier to the course member live streams. But right now, what we're saying is December 17th. That's when everything comes out. You're getting the pre-sale. So you'll save many hundreds of dollars. Many hundreds of dollars by getting in the pre-sale before the content's out. Yep. Is there a way for Greek citizens to pay in installments for the course? Just email us at staff@meetkevin.com if for some reason you can't use one of the options that are on the site. Tesla will create the 9-seat van and call it the Model MK. Let's go. Yes. Mom, dad, 7 children. No, I keep getting these questions. And I feel like I keep answering them, but maybe you just joined. No answers yet on what's going on with Supermicro. They're just rumor. There's literally no news on them. There are people circulating rumors on X, but that's it. You know, around delisting or auditor quitting or whatever, but I'm not actually seeing anything as news here. Welcome aboard, John. Thanks for joining. Another Thomas, a different Thomas just joined as well. John and Thomas, welcome aboard the Trump course. Okay. Semiconductor ETF 200-day moving average. Look, just a brief note on the 200-day moving average. It's one of Charlie Munger's favorites. He says, "Hey, if people picked up, what's up, Matt? Matt, that last name looks familiar. Are you from Ventura? Anyway, thanks for joining. So, Charlie Munger is a fan of if people just buy at the 200-day moving average, they'd vastly outperform. 200-day moving average on the semiconductor ETF right here. SMH, shake my head, baby, shake my head. Look at those semis. What's your S&P growth for the year of 2025? Majority of banks and hedge funds aiming low growth of 65 to 7,000. I know. It is crazy. It is. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I think it's too bullish. You know, I think everybody's blind for the recession, but that's okay. Like, you know, right now data is good, so I'll give it to him. Okay, you're getting a little bit of a chillax, and it looks like, yeah, a little bit of a topping out there on the Qs. Looks like you topped out a little bit on BTC as well. Welcome aboard, Jared. Oh, Jared bundles up. Jared gets Trumponomics and the Financial Advice Library. Binny Yam grabs the Trump course. Welcome aboard. So, yeah, this now getting rejected over here. So watch this. This is going to turn some of the numbers around. Benjamin, welcome aboard. A few seconds ago. Thanks for joining. So, NVIDIA has just done so well today. Enphase actually sneaking up on us. 2%. Dude, that was such a steal at $60. I loaded the freaking boat at that sucker. Loaded the boat. I mean, I think we did fundamental analysis on it like 3 times in the course member live streams. And we're like, this is a steal. Look at how low under the 200-day moving average it is. Like, let's go to the 200 week. Dude, it is under The 200 week is under the 100 week. I mean, I don't generally use the week, but you're well under the 100 week moving average and the 200 week moving average and the lowest fib I basically have for them. It's such a steal. Like, fundamentally, these people print freaking money too. Somebody says, you're not streaming on YouTube, listening on X Premium, but can't leave the app and like listening on YouTube. I'm glad y'all say this because I am live on YouTube. I'm just on the Meet Kevin live channel. I thought people knew about it, but it's if you type into YouTube Meet Kevin Market Live, it looks like this. So you just type in Meet Kevin Market Live, Black Friday Stock Market Open Live, and it's Meet Kevin Market Live. That's the name of the channel right here. And I'm just sort of doing the market streams over here. Yeah. So I know that makes it look. What's your price target for end phase next year? Next year, I don't know, but 2027, it's $230. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next year. But I'll tell you this. I'm never selling my exposure to end phase or Tesla. What the positions that there are now. And they're built in such a way so that way, if there's a dip, there's plenty of cash available to buy the dip. I think there's going to be a dip. And I think there'll be an opportunity to average down on Tesla. I don't know if there'll be an opportunity to average down on Enphase. That's sort of just an initial thesis that I have. Don't know. All right, what else? What else? Jonathan, Peter, DeAndre, welcome. Thank you so very much for joining. You will not be disappointed. Okay, Q's bobbing around. Let's get some more news. Let's see what we got for news, eh? Who's controlling Charlie Munger's secret stash now? You mean a secret stash of Bitcoin? How funny would that be? All right, let's see here. Okay. Oh, did you see they have new pictures of Notre Dame? Very cool. I remember when that fire happened. It was so sad. Macron. People donated like $1 billion to the relief effort of this cathedral. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's really cool. That's going to skyrocket tourism, I think. Oh, we just lost 98K on BT Sis. Little bearish there. That's going to reverse moves. Okay. What is this? Trump voters feel very differently about things now that Trump won. A new poll shows. Pair of Politico Morning Consult polls. Oh, let me get this on a non-private browser. Why am I in private? For some reason, YouTube doesn't put it on your feed. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's algo can be funny. All right. Oh, let's go, Max. Dude, Max says up 113% on TLT calls. Jan 17th, 2025, $95. Let's go, dude. You're about to go in the money, man. Well, that's freaking awesome. Somebody asked, can you do a backflip? Nope. Okay. Okay, so one poll before Trump won, one poll after for what they're worth. Natalie, welcome aboard. Financial Advice Library and the Trump Course. Nice bundle. By the way, you might not know this, but this is just honestly, it's just like a thank you to all of you. Some of you may have noticed it. I'm paying the sales taxes right now. So, that's something we're just doing here for we just started doing here for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So For example, Natalie, I think I just paid like $30 of sales taxes for you. But I'm all for providing more value, and I haven't even been mentioning that or pitching that, but I just thought I'd mention that. We might flip that as well as sort of the price changes and goes up over time as we get closer to the release date. Meetkevin.com. Trump supporters thought voter fraud could determine the election outcome until he won. Heading into election day, nearly 9 in 10 Trump voters said fraud was a serious issue. Afterward, just over a third said so. That is actually funny. Yep, nope, we won, no fraud. I mean, okay. All right. Well, for example, his supporters were also more likely to feel good about the economy after the election. While Harris supporters adopted a more negative outlook. Oh, that's funny. Oh, should I bring a baby? Our new poll showed voters' perceptions of election issues like election security and the economy swung substantially post-election, with deep differences based on who they voted for. The poll also found mixed expectations for a second Trump term. First poll was conducted November 30th to the 1st. Second was conducted November 20th to 22nd. Trump supporters worried less about voter fraud after he won. We already saw that part. Economy split upon partisan lines. We saw that. Pardoning the defendants. Harris voters were against the idea. 74% against pardoning. 60% of Trump voters thought that Trump would do it. Trump voters, only 53% favored pardons. So even some Trump voters, not all of them are for the pardons. That's very interesting. Wait. Oh, is there an article about Kamala running for governor? Please no. People have been talking about that, and I touched on that in a video as well. I don't know if there was a recent one. Here's Screaming Child. I might go get them. Kamala Harris for governor. These Democrats say she's the best chance for fighting Trump. Dude, the problem is she kind of had her run there. You know, are people gonna trust that with a second attempt? I mean, $1 billion to try to run for president, and you lost. Dude, Symbotic. Look at the rally on Symbotic right to my line. Let's zoom out on this. 2905 is the next, unless we get rejected here. You go see who's sad. I'll bring a baby. Alfonso, thanks for joining the Trump course over at meetkevin.com. All right, one sec. I'm going to go see who's sad. All right. Here's Violet. She was screaming. She's hungry. So Violet is encouraging you to go to meetkevin.com. Right? Check out the Trumponomics course, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yay. Yes. Oh, you see Trumponomics, don't you? Is that it? Yeah. I'd be excited too. Okay. So look at that run on Nvidia though. Almost 3%. Not bad. And Bitcoin back to 98. See, Tesla can't hold 340. That was my take. But wow, coin really dropped back to consolidation. Did have its run there. Well, then again, Bitcoin also did reject. So that's why I like the trailing stops. Nice move on end phase. Look at that. That's money in the bag right there. That's nice. That's awesome. $74. Let's go. Yeah, $60 was a steal. Stolen. Oh, Michael, what's up, dude? Michael just picked up the Diamond course, which gives him access to all courses and future courses, which is awesome. Bundled that with Trumponomics. Good job. That's how you get that bundle. That's awesome. And Interbit, I definitely messed that one up. Interbrit. Interbrit. I'm gonna have to work on that one. Dave, I'm just gonna go with S on that one. And Darren, welcome aboard. Oh, Violet, how's your twin Summer doing? You know, I posted a story yesterday on Instagram of Summer hopping up and down in her jumper. She's so happy. And it's scary. They look so similar now. The only way you can tell them apart right now is Violet has this little like scratch on her face, that little red dot right there. Are you looking at yourself? Yeah, I know. Dad put the monitor over there. It makes it a little harder, doesn't it? You tiny little hands. Lots to see. All right, what else do we have on questions here? Let's see here. Just say Inder. Inder. You got it. I like it. Hey, there you are. What's up, man? Thank you. I would want to learn how to say that, though. Thanks for joining me. Okay, serious question. Do you have random people asking about BTC yet or not? Those people who don't usually gamble? Oh, you mean like in person? Like when, you know, when sort of like a stock goes to the moon and then everybody starts buying it? It was kind of like the GameStop days where like your grandma would come over and be like, so, Jimmy, should I buy GameStop? Yeah, because your grandma obviously sounds like Mickey Mouse. Hi. Are you hungry? Oh, boy. So it's a race you want, huh? You louse. Yeah, no, I haven't gotten to that phase yet. So maybe that means we're going to 150, huh? In that 155 line, what do you think? Is that where we're going next? You stole my hand. I can't go to the mouse. Okay. Let's see. Can you not add any crypto or blockchain exposure to ETFs? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely can. That is your best impersonation voice? Oh no, I don't know if that's a good thing. AOC next person. Yeah, watch the video that I posted this morning on the you know, Democrats rallying behind AOC for president. No. I mean, like, if the party's trying to moderate, that is the opposite thing you should be doing. Right, Violet? You're ready for your bottle. Oh, thanks, Inter. I've been watching you from day one, and you are hands down one of the hardest people on the planet. Oh, well, thank you for that. How'd you compare the value of stocks inside to the Trump course? Okay, so look. Yeah, agoo. Right now, I'm shooting myself in the foot because the stocks course is like 2.5 times as expensive, I think, something like that, 2 to 2.5 times as expensive. Get the Trump course. Like right now, everyone, like you're getting started, you already got lots of money. I will not allow that course to disappoint for what you're paying for it. Like I want you to look at it and be like, man, I learned a lot, and for what I learned, I didn't pay that much. That's my goal. So yeah. Okay, let's go listen to CNBC for a sec. I'm gonna bring Violet to her bottle.
Distribution of the National Hockey League. So I don't know, you know, where the limit is. I think it's probably limitless at this point. But obviously, you've got the companies like Amazon, like Netflix, who are, you know, investing a lot of money in sports programming. And I just see it going on forever. And of course, you guys all know, because, you know, I watch you around the clock and you're talking about the valuations of these teams, which is off the charts. You buy into a team and it's like it's a spigot, and it doesn't stop pouring out cash.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Mother on Father's Day, but you did mention Netflix, and we've talked a lot about the Tyson fight and some of the buffering issues, but also the overall numbers. I wonder if you think that was another tentpole moment in the evolution of live sports on streaming.
Might be. I heard everything, Carl, that you heard, and they'll fix that. I mean, we had our problems at Prime the first year too, and we got it under control. So I do know that everybody was complaining about the quality of picture and the buffering, et cetera, et cetera. But I think they'll get it right, and they'll probably get it right by Christmas Day. At least the National Football League is going to make sure they get it right by Christmas Day.
And Carl used the word seamless. What is your sense, Al, in terms of how consumers are digesting and finding all of these options now on the streamers versus on traditional television? Which games to go to on which nights? Is it just that the fan is so diehard that they find it?
They do. I mean, Sarah, I look at like a Saturday morning newspaper and they list all these common games, and I'm going, where do you find them? But then I talk to my kids or I talk to my grandkids, and they know where to find them. So maybe I don't know where to find them, but they certainly do. And obviously, you know, in today's world, you can figure.
Okay, talk about Netflix and the buffering issues. I thought that was funny. That was rough, honestly. That was a surprise. They had so many problems. Do you think they would have not had that many problems? Netflix, after all, do they not have enough money? You know, it's crazy. So I found that somewhat remarkable. But anyway, okay, we've certainly gone a little longer than expected here. But what I'm going to do now quickly is let me just see what we have for other news. And let's take a peek here. Okay. There we go. Can you pinch her chubby cheeks? Oh, yeah. Do we need the Trump's course if you already have the others? What's the other? Well, a lot. You know, the entrepreneurship, the branding, the marketing, the negotiating, you know, there's so much more than just the stocks aspect. But the tax policy, that'll be pretty critical as well, especially as it comes to, you know, does it make sense to have an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp? You know, some of these things you might already be familiar with, but are you familiar with having a C Corp that owns stocks, or a C Corp? You know, I mean, there are endless. I'm not going to get into it now, but there are endless strategies, really endless. So it's pretty incredible. So it's going to be fun. Okay, so what else here? Hi, Kevin. I'm a very starter about my very next day. We really do. Yes. Look, here's the thing. Let me put it this way. If you already have stocks in sight and you get the Trump course, you know, like let's say you bought stocks in Psych within the last 30 days. Okay, let's do that. If you bought stocks in Psych within the next 30 days and you get the Trump course and you're like, hey, there's too much overlap or whatever, email me in January, you know, after you've had time to go through the content or whatever, and I'll honor the price for you. We'll make sure you're taken care of. I don't think you're going to have an issue with that at all. I really think you're going to look at it and go, can I actually pay more because the value is so good? But hey, I think that's a reasonable deal. Okay, so anything else? I mean, yeah, the enthusiasm's waning a little bit, except for our DJT. Look at this. Everything's going DJT right now. What a shift. Okay, so TLT. Oh, TLT had a little bit of a bleed there. Tesla couldn't do 340. Did say that from the beginning. DJT, it was up like 1% at the beginning. It's doing really well right now. 508, that's what I thought in the bullish scenario we would end up at on the Qs. We just got rejected at 509.50, and we're in the 508 range. See where that goes. You're sitting at 67 on Palantir, pretty impressive. You're over 98 on BTC. Selling puts on Supermicro seems like a steal today. Obviously, no guarantees. Symbotic is memeing. This is crazy, and I don't think there was any news either, but I will check. I might do like a full video on Symbotic because I think a lot of people are interested in that company, and when it memes like this, people want to know like what the hell's going on. So Symbotic. Oh, that's right. Oh, they're bouncing off of their 36% decline. Yeah, because they just tanked. And so they're rebounding. That's what it is. Aha. That was their gap down. So is this the first trading day after their gap down? Yes, it is. That's why. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And where are we on the moving average for this stock? Oh, well, you're below the 200. Yeah, it's been trending down for a hot minute there. But what's the valuation on it now? Like, is it too late to buy after it's up 10%, right? Let's find out. Let's do it. You all want to do it? Let's do it. This is usually the stuff stuff like this we'll do in the course member live, but I'm live right now talking about it, so I'm just going to do it really quickly. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Symbotic. Okay. Rebounds today up about 11% after dropping 36%, citing accounting errors. So we'll actually go into a filing here in just a moment. But accounting errors / deficiencies. And let's go into, I want to look at their last earnings call too. Actually, I'm pretty sure we already did that in the course live, but that's okay. I'll do it again quickly. I might actually just be able to pull up what we had. Okay, so Symbotic is trading for 2670 divided by 0.28. It's trading for 95 times forward PE, 95 FPE for SEP 25. And we're looking for growth, or this is Wall Street's estimate. So I always take Wall Street's estimate, and then I say, like, is that reasonable? And try to compare. Growth estimates are about 69.8%. Growth. It's a robotics play expected over the next 10 months. Or sorry, 4 years rather. Over the next 4 years. That gives me 95 divided by 69.8. That gives me about oh wow, moved down to a 1.3 peg. That's actually not bad. Not bad on the valuation side for the peg. And let me now go into the earnings call. Run script. How funny how quickly people can forget the accounting issues. But I honestly, I usually like buying the dip on accounting issues anyway, because they just get solved. Symbotic. Nice. Okay, yeah, Symbotic earnings call from, what date is this? I think it's November 20th. Q4, November 18th. Okay. Let's see here. Coy just says, just bought Trumponomics, watching from Puerto Rico. Let's go. That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining. Michael. Oh, yeah, a bunch of you just bought. Mike, Johan, Joe, another Michael, Megumi, Billy, Daniel, another Mike, Steve, Jonathan, Jason, Nicholas. Welcome aboard. Thank you all for joining. I will not let you down. Okay. So what did I mark? Steel prices have been a large portion of their costs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wrote, this company is literally the future of wage deflation. So this is where they talk about Walmart buying robots. Let's go start here. I want to see what they say about the accounting. They don't. Accounting, audit, financials. Is this not? No, it is indexed. Okay. Outlook. Let's try it. Oh, sorry, you're not there. Let's go to Outlook. Before I want to address the restatements to include, after reviewing our business processes and preparing our full year financials, we identified occurrences during the fiscal year of 24 where goods and services, primarily relating to specific milestone achievements, were expensed prior to the time that corresponding milestones were achieved. The net result is essentially timing differences between quarters within fiscal 24 and has no impact on the full year response since the appropriate expenses were properly recorded in the fourth quarter. Oh, dude, this is such a nothing burger. That's, yeah, okay. So, honestly, that's sort of bullish. Bullish. Restatement as a nothing burger. 1.36 peg right now. Wow. That's pretty bullish. As a result of the restatement of financial results, we will be filing an amended 10Qs within the next weeks. Preparing to file our 10K timely next week. Exceptionally growth fourth quarter, favorable alignment, blah, blah, blah. Wonder if I could see like what kind of a little bit more. I mean, I've looked at some of their robots before because they don't do humanoids. Oh yeah, they're making money from their AI software. I remember that. Oh, here you go. Explore Robotics. All little autonomous lifts. So this would be like a what's it called? Forklift, basically. Enhanced driving system. Slip resistant bot. I don't know how that it's gonna slip. Oh, look at that. Autonomous mobile robot fleet. Like a self-driving car, the Symbot mobile robot fleet moves autonomously and dynamically in response to its environment. Yeah, this is one of the reasons we also launched robohack.ai to go venture capital into robotics. Yeah, but this is a company we've done fundamental analysis on a few times now in the course streams. Let's see here. Sort of a little marketing pitch video here of their autonomous robots. Nice. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. Delivered commitment, turning to our backlog. Backlog remained largely consistent with last quarter. Walmex. I think that's Walmart Mexico. Will be added to our backlog next quarter. Gross margins on software over 50%. So they got the software side too. Welcome your questions. Citigroup. Let's see here. Can you help us bridge what's pressuring margin? Gross margin hit 19.6%, which was a rebound to our historic level. So we quickly returned those to historical gross margins. If you remember, Q3 margin was depressed due to elongated construction schedules that we had put in place. And we don't see that happening. Okay, so that's actually bullish Q4. Bullish Q4. This was Q3, right? I'm just double checking. Oh, it says Q4. Q4 24. Are they talking about fiscal? Because that's technically calendar Q3. Q3 was depressed, and we didn't see that same occur. Oh, we didn't see that happen in Q4. Okay. As we think through, so Q4 is how their fiscal Q4 initially reflects a continuation of higher gross margins, focused on achieving several milestones. We continue to prioritize quality development. Okay, so I mean, this already happened. Q3, that's just referring to the compression then. Briefly touched on the updates you have on Europe. Walmart, yes, nothing to report. Continued discussion, but nothing new to report here. Yeah, because Europe is slowing. You're not going to get the investments in Europe, right? So you that's actually very interesting. Hold on, I'm going to close this door. I hear someone screaming. You might not be able to hear the screaming, but it's distracting for me. So this is interesting because backlog not being built up by Europe, which IMO Eurozone in recession, and robotics over time may become a way out via increased productivity in Europe. So that's also bullish, you know, right? Bullish. I don't think South America, Central America are one-offs, but right now we have our first customer, so we're excited. First customer, new geographies, blah, 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 blah. Appreciating the value creation. Okay, fine. Oops. Talk a little bit about what drove your revenue, sequential revenues, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Pull interest. Okay, Q1 guide reflects strong growth. We're thinking 40% year over year as we head into the first quarter. Got it. And you alluded to some vision technology you're adding. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that technology. Yes, so VO is a very unique company that on an acquisition they made of VO. Oh, this is very interesting. So see, that's actually the play in robotics, right? And that's the VC play, right? That's the VC. Acquire small or buy shares in small and then hope they get acquired by big. Robohack.ai is doing exactly this. I think we've got to finalize our allocation next week for Robohack.ai. So if you're an accredited investor and you want to be pretty much like as much as possible as we can, which it'll have to probably be a little under 50%, but we'll be going into this robotics op that we're looking at. We'll send some more details out on that too. If you want those details, make sure you sign a DocuSign. You just go to robohack.ai. It's actually quite simple, robohack.ai. Right here. And then if you sign this and complete this DocuSign, we'll text you some more information. Okay, where were we? VO Robotics. Let's look them up. VO Robotics. The future of manufacturing is dynamic, flexible human-machine collaboration. Okay, so they have software. Okay, so you know, probably basically like their version of AI. Yeah, here you go. Advanced human safety for robotic collaboration. So they bought a company that has this software. Right, okay. Sensors, Free Move Studio, fine. Oh, okay. It's probably a LiDAR camera right here. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. Okay, got it. And then is that all they do? That's all they do. But they just got acquired by Symbotic. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. I think a lot of VCs should get degrees in electrical engineering. That's what George, I don't know who that is, did. Okay, hold on. Electrical engineering degree. Where can I get one? You just get one online? Online. Yes, you could get one 100% online. How about a master's? Online electrical engineering. Stanford? Yeah, right. Certificate or look at this. Let's see here. Earn graduate credit. Part-time. The master's degree program provides advanced preparation for professional practice or teaching at the junior college level. Ability to follow your own. There's no way you get like on an online thing. You actually what kind of actual degree do you get from these things? Like, why do I feel like it's sus? What is this? Stanford. I don't know. Statement of completion, record of completion. Very interesting. Graduate education. Certificates. No, you don't want, you want a master's degree. You don't want a certificate. Oh yeah, look at that. Aeronautics. Chemical engineering. Computer science. This is awesome. So, you know, should pick, and then what do you get? Like, do you actually get a master's? It says master's degree. It says you get it. That's crazy. Engineering is a lifelong pursuit. I've been doing it for 45 years. That's awesome. It's important to pick a school that researches in the area that you're interested in. Enroll at a real university. Most are doing remote classes now. Well, yeah. Was no walk in the park. Yeah, no kidding. You can't go straight into a master's in electrical engineering. Yeah, probably. Huh. Very interesting. Mechanical engineering. But I wonder, like, how long it will take. Oh, look at this. As a part-time student to finish the degree, it'll take 3 to 5 years. I mean, that's pretty cool. You could literally do this online. That's awesome. So how much is it going to cost? The whole program for your master's is expected to be like 70 grand. And it looks like they have veteran benefits too. I mean, that's expensive. But do they, I imagine because it's online, they just enroll everyone. Will there be an option for unaccredited investors in RoboHack? Unfortunately not. There should be for house hack, but no, with RoboHack, there are only 99 spots. So it's just going to be, you know, sort by highest amount basically. And then we'll let you know if there's room for you or not. It's, you know, and obviously if we have your documentation and stuff. But yeah, no, with the VCs, for them not to be considered an investment company, that you have to have fewer than 100 investors. So 99. Yep. That's very typical in VC, by the way. But anyway, sorry, it is not my rule. It is the SEC. Actually, it's probably like the acts of like, it's the 40 Act, the Investment Company Act of 1940. So you're talking like 84-year-old law that just hasn't been updated, you know. We're focused on being a good acquirer and building good relationships with these companies. See, I love hearing this. Oh, so they're going to acquire more. Oh, I love to hear that. Okay. We continue to get inbound for new technologies. Love to hear that. Green Box. The Green Box Georgia announcement. What is it? Green Box facility that we're building and developing. Building it without an anchor customer. Okay, what is this? We're actively recruiting customers. We think Greenbox offers a lot of opportunities. So what is it? For small and large consumer packaged good companies and other e-commerce companies. So for now that we have a building, we're very excited. So they have like, is this like a sample company? Greenbox Symbotic. SoftBank Group and Symbotic established new warehouse as a service. No way. I mean, that's like fulfillment by Amazon, basically. Oh, that's very interesting. Warehouse as a service. Wow. This is like FBA, but it sounds like, you know, obviously outside of Amazon. That's very interesting. Greenbox, first of its kind automated warehouse services, unlocking new addressable market opportunities. will lead to about 7. So it's built-in sales for their robots, basically. As a service offering. SoftBank and Symbotic own. So SoftBank only owns. I'm sorry. Symbotic only owns 35% of Greenbox, but that's actually a good thing because they get to sell all the robots to them. This is so interesting. I don't know, 70K, and that probably isn't crazy, especially if you can. I just want to know if like that actually. I think the whole AI robotics thing is very interesting. Totally agree. I just want to know if like that's like the online course is as good as like, you know, like does it have as much value as in person? I am writing my bachelor's thesis on automation and the differences between automation and company sizes. Yeah, dude, I'd love to see it. Send it to me. It better not sound like GPT. You like when I write stuff, I like so much of what I write, I feel like I want to put like a little asterisk. GPT did not write this. Just joined the Trump course. Your golf coach. Let's go. Thank you for joining. I do business administration, mechanical engineering, as well as aerospace engineering. Very interesting, but worth it for future for sure. Yeah, I agree. Kevin, will there be any option? Oh yeah, I answered that. Is Steve here? Oh, Steve says this is like the AI craze. Maybe it is. Because in electrical engineering, you need to do labs to get your hands dirty with circuits. Well, I mean, you could buy so many circuits yourself now. You know, like you could probably dual. Like there's nothing I can't do, I feel like, at home. I mean, unless I'm like manufacturing a chip, you know, I don't have access to a multi-tens of millions of dollar chip making machine, but AI crypto as a play? What, where like AI makes tokens and snipes or what? Online doesn't even come near in person? Huh. Joe, access to the full course is December 17th. I'm working on maybe something earlier, but right now it's December 17th. But that is why the price is so low. I think the price will be double or triple, you know, when it actually releases. So, wow, the Qs are up 88 bips right now. Tesla's still under 2%, well, 140. Enphase up a couple. Oh, we're okay. Oh, well, welcome to those of you that just joined, by the way. Saul, Jared, Naveen, Alice. Hey, there's the Gulf Coast. What's up? Michelle, John, another John, Michael, Felipe, Daniel. Daniel gets the financial advice library bundle as well. Welcome aboard. Shout out for that. Another Michael, another Joe here. Thank you so much for joining. That's the Trump course on Black Friday sale. Okay, so joint venture to address the more than $500 billion annual warehouse as a service market. Wow. This is actually really interesting. Greenbox customers will be able to reduce inventory and costs while boosting SKU count and agility. Yeah, I mean, it's speculative if people are going to use it, but I actually think they might. It beats all the CapEx, right? Symbotic has issued warrants representing 2% of Symbotic's fully diluted shares, which will vest basically as the company pays for the robots. That's great. Oh, I love it. This is very exciting. It's dangerous, though, because you don't want to get like too hypey, you know? Hims is doing really well. Should have bought more than I did. But we've done a lot of course member lives on them, too. There will be CapEx. Invest in new R&D. How much does it add to the backlog? This was the Walmart Mexico portion. Pricing power. So we're maximizing that pricing power on what? Don't have pricing issues on steel. The fact that we have pass-through clauses. So that will give us protection. I just like hearing people talk about PP. I like big PP. Lots of pricing power. Removal of uncertainty for investors. Moving forward with the rate cutting cycle. Okay. Let's see here. What else? What is this 39 here? The jump. 44 systems ongoing. 4 completed, 9 started. Okay. Let's see here. Not going to see 9 every quarter, of course. Highest number we've seen. We've been ticking up from 2 to 3 per quarter, and now we're hitting 4. I think you're going to see that continue to grow in the neighborhood of 4. Nice. Okay. So let's see here. Process of, okay, here we go. So the packaging deal, for the reasons we okay. The vision really helps us with the reliability of our robots. With one of the reasons that what we do is difficult is lids pop open, then there's dust, bottles leak, blah, blah, blah. So in the past, robots had sensors, but essentially they were blind. Now the robot actually sees where there's a problem and can communicate to the operator. So there's a process of machine learning. We actually teach the robot how to handle these situations. And we can run these robots anywhere around the world. Oh, dude, that is such a game changer. Oh, dude, you could supervise the robots. Remote robot supervision. Wow. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to get another cup of coffee really quick, but I'm going to keep going with this. I hope you don't mind. It's a little bit of a longer stream. Remember, Black Friday sale, coupon code over at meetkevin.com. Let's listen in here for a moment, and then I'll come back.
Over the years, with stores now again being closed on Thanksgiving, pushing more of that in-store shopping to today. I mean, retail's Big Five is well underway if you're talking about Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday. I'm just getting some real spending data, in fact, exclusively from Pfizer. Between midnight and 9 a.m. here on Black Friday, brick and mortar retailers have seen transactions grow 4.3% compared to Black Friday last year over that same time period. Online sales, interestingly, down about 14.4% between, again, midnight and 9 a.m. compared to that same period last year. And that's not entirely surprising to see online sales weaker this morning, because Adobe actually says that Thanksgiving Day online spending peak hit in the 9 p.m. Eastern time hour. And then today's online spending peak isn't predicted to hit until somewhere between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. according to Salesforce. So that's before that Pfizer data that we just gave you was actually pulled. Today is forecast, though, to be the biggest shopping day of the year in store, according to Traffic Tracker Sensormatic. And then that's followed by the last Saturday before Christmas, which we always refer to as Super Saturday. The National Retail Federation says 132 million Americans will shop today in some form. That's in-store, online, maybe both. But 65% of them say they specifically plan to shop in store today. Consumers are telling Deloitte that the number one reason they want to go to stores, doorbuster deals. 45%, though, do it to spend time with family and friends. It's tradition for many Americans. And Black Friday shoppers tend to skew younger, but also, interestingly, wealthier, even if deals are the top reason to shop. The largest percentage of Americans that plan to shop today are those that make $200,000 or more. 78% of them say they'll shop today. Now, the foot traffic here, like I mentioned, is certainly picking up. We'll see what the rest of the day brings. The longest line that I saw here before the stores actually opened was Lululemon, which is interesting because that is not traditionally a retailer that has a lot of sales at all. Maybe people just love those yoga pants. Back over to you.
And it's a hyper competitive market now between Athleta and Fabletics and all the online retailers. Courtney,
they're here too.
Yes, exactly. So these brands are certainly in play. I'm curious about over the last, say, 10 to 20 years. I remember explicitly watching news on a Black Friday and watching stampedes of people, sometimes, checking and tackling, trying to get in to get TVs and everything else. I feel as though in the last few years, we haven't seen as many of those rampages through doorbuster deals. Is there an explanation as to why, or are people just shopping online more because of the convenience factor?
Yeah, I think there's reasons. Number one, online shopping is certainly a big reason. For a number of years, retailers weren't able to offer the same doorbuster deals online as they were in store because of supply chains, logistics, what have you. But as that's gotten more sophisticated, the retailers are able to do that. And so you can buy online. More people have access to the internet too, frankly. When it just started many years ago, people had to wait to get to work to buy online, which is kind of why Cyber Monday became what it became. We didn't have internet at home. So we don't have these store stampedes anymore because of the internet, but also retailers are starting to tease out deals earlier, either earlier in the month of November or even October. We've already seen a lot of that. And so they have the supply, they can offer it earlier. It spreads out the buying, and thank goodness it's considerably safer. So you can still come out and have fun, but do it safer and still get a good deal early if you want to get ahead of the game.
All right. We learned earlier this morning on Worldwide Exchange that Courtney plans to buy apparel later on this afternoon. Courtney, thank you very much. We'll see you later on today.
Thanks, Don.
All right. Well, shoppers may be heading to the malls, like Courtney just saw, but our next guest says that may not lift holiday sales in a very meaningful way. She expects them to be up modestly, up a little more than 3% from the previous year. So joining us now is Wells Fargo economist Shannon Grind. Shannon, we just heard Courtney talk about some of the robust nature of the data coming in for this Black Friday, maybe through Cyber Monday. What exactly is the data that you're seeing telling you about the health of the consumer and our propensity to spend?
Yeah, so I think we have a little bit more of a cautious take on the consumer this holiday season. So we are still looking for a decent pace of growth, so that just north of 3% figure that we're forecasting puts us just below the longer run average of holiday sales in the months of November and December. But if you look at momentum going into the holiday sales season, that these categories of retailers have actually seen a pretty slow year-to-date sales growth through October. So I do think we're a bit more cautious in terms of the overall sales growth we expect this year, but we're still looking for a decent holiday sales season. So I don't want to dismiss the fact that holiday sales will still be strong. And to Courtney's point and how you've been uncovering it all morning, there are a lot of people going out there on Black Friday having shopped yesterday. So I do think we have some decent momentum with this traditional kickoff being Black Friday.
Shannon, where do you think the I guess interest is in spending, generally speaking, for the U.S. consumer? I understand that there are demographic nuances there, but we talked about this idea that goods was such a big thing for a while, then it transitioned to services. Are there certain parts of the market that are going to do better than others? What exactly do your checks show about what exactly we think we want to spend on versus things that we want to shy away from?
Yeah, so I think this year you're going to keep seeing a transition that we've seen in the past few years to experiences of gifting. So gifting theaters, movie tickets, restaurants, things of that nature that are a bit different than the traditional retail that you're obviously shopping at a brick and mortar or even potentially online. But we've really seen a normalization in spending. So if you look at shares of consumer spending in the United States that are dedicated towards goods versus services, we've seen a normalization now with the pandemic fully behind us. So households are spending more on goods now after that pull forward has kind of run its course. So I do expect a lot of the traditional gift giving will still be at play, though again, some of that service-oriented, experience-based gifting might continue to crop up this year. Now, the one thing that, again, you've been covering all morning is the discounting factor. So I do think households are a bit price fatigued in the current environment when, the necessities, food, gas, things like this are still pretty high in terms of price level. And I think households are experiencing a bit of inflation pressure and a bit of price fatigue when it comes to gift giving. So to the extent that there are discounts on key products and key goods, I think that will encourage shoppers this year, and hopefully,
like the Trump course,
larger basket overall if they are strategic with some of those discounts.
Shannon, if price fatigue is going to factor into the nearer term holiday shopping season, say from now until maybe the end of this year, just around Christmas and Hanukkah, what exactly then does the outlook look like for 2025 and beyond? Can we expect to still see that slowing factor, or do things maybe pick up?
All right. Let's let them finish this thought, because I've been listening to it too.
Our holiday sales forecast, as we're forecasting a slightly slower growth year, right? That near 3% annual growth figure for sales in November and December. Something we also mentioned is we don't think this is necessarily a signal that households are going to stop spending next year, right? I really truly believe households need a reason to stop spending. So whether that's a further moderation in the labor market, meaning layoffs, or significant more price pressure, potentially from tariffs or things of that nature, that could stall out spending. Our base case is that households are going to keep spending into next year. You're just going to see a bit more of a choosy consumer, between discretionary and non-discretionary items, particularly in the wake of the holiday sales season, which is very normal at the early part of next year. But I do think households are going to keep spending. We've seen this undeniable resiliency in terms of consumer spending, and we do expect that's going to continue next year, again, without some sort of shock hitting the economy. Now, the one thing I'm kind of tap dancing around is tariffs, right? So tariffs are inflationary, and if we do see some sort of universal tariff, I do think that could impact consumer prices, and it could be a challenge for a lot of households, particularly from the discretionary purchase side.
All right, so perhaps longer term, medium to longer term, the U.S. consumer stays intact. Shannon Grind with Wells Fargo, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
All right, well, further ahead on the show, we'll get some more insights into the state of spending. Pandora Jewelers says consumers are cautious, but they are finding a way to buck the overall caution trend. Their CEO will join us live to discuss. But first, after the break, Canada's regulatory watchdog now is suing Google. Those details in the tech check we have when we return after this commercial break.
Humana Medicare Advantage plans. Carry this card, and you could have the power to unlock benefits beyond original Medicare.
Okay.
These are convenient.
All right. That's interesting. A little bit of talk there about, still strong consumer, sales up, all this. There's such lagging indicators, though. That's what drives me nuts, is the consumer spending is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It's great for the economy. It is so important because you have an environment where if the consumer decays, that's 70% of the economy, right? But what's really incredible is the potential for, or scary, I shouldn't say incredible. What's really scary would be the potential for layoffs, right? And the pain that could cause. Let's see here. Okay, good. So then we've got, let's see here. Q's at 84. That's pretty good. You had a bit of a relaxation there on NVIDIA, and I want to get back into finishing this analysis. Hold on one sec. Let's see here. Okay. One sec. Okay, there we go. All right, back to this. Okay. There. All right, what we got? Also, that has made the system more reliable, giving customers a lot of confidence in our ability to scale and do bigger business. Oh, that's true too. It's like a sales point of view, right? Yeah. Sales POV. So that's the real value of vision. Yeah, being able to sell it. True. It's not like a fab plan. I mean, humidity changes, there's dust, different products. So the ability to use vision and teach the bot how to do it better is very important. Yeah, I agree. Let's highlight that. Okay, very interesting. Okay, what does that opportunity look like for Walmax? Because they have 40 to 50 distribution centers. So like basically they're trying to price in like what's the long-term opportunity here? Yeah, we don't want to get ahead of our customer. We're excited to start with the first 2 and we want to prove that out. Right. I mean, they will. Never contemplated. Overall contribution across Mexico, Central America, South America in terms of opportunities out there that have never been contemplated in our TAM, total addressable market or serviceable addressable market. We have not quantified what that number is. It's huge. I mean, there'll be competition too. Okay. Greenbox commitment with SoftBank. They committed to 11 billion. Otherwise, they have to pay you. Is that the general framework? Yes. Wow. 1 million square foot facility. A lot of potential customers. Multi-tenant facility. Good test pilot. Oh, that's true. Because, you know, the companies could actually use Symbotic. Like, you could warehouse as WAS, Symbotic, and then get your own robots if you want. That's interesting. Okay. This is cool. In terms of Greenbox revenue, margin opportunity. Okay. System. We're the JV, joint venture. Okay. One sec. Huh. Yeah. Sorry, one sec. When I live stream a little longer, sometimes I have to do a little bit of fixing here. Okay, that's fine. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, where were we? Atlanta airport, huge, no kidding. I've not received the alpha board. I filled out like 5 times. Chase, what's your number? Actually, I can't add you manually. Hold on. Go to there's a backdoor way to do it. Hold on. I'll give you the backdoor really quick. But yeah, it's not on the website right now because we're doing the Black Friday sale. But I have a backdoor for you. So if you want the alpha report, alpha. Okay, metkevin, MET Kevin.com/backdoor alpha. And you have to text that number, you know, fill that out, text it. Pretty sure it pre-fills it for you. And then it'll ask you to fill out a form. If you don't get the text, you're going to have to use a different number. I don't know, maybe it's blocked or something for you. But metkevin.com/backdoor alpha, open the messages app, and you're going to text add me to the alpha report to that number. That number is 805-398-6280. Oh man, Kevin giving up his back door. Are you tanning, Kevin? No, I don't go tanning. But I do go running. Okay, let's keep going with this. Okay. In terms of green box, revenue and margin opportunity, how's this? Okay, we talked about that. Margin, rebound in the fourth quarter. Okay. Add a few leaders in R&D. That's fine. I mean, so far we're getting a pretty good idea here of the company. I'm going to look at their balance sheet next. What was the restructuring charge? It was actually a benefit that we did around inventory. We had obsolete inventory. So 89K restructuring was a benefit, blah, blah, blah. Did hit margin. Fine. Okay. So now I just need to do the Symbotic balance sheet, and then then we're going to do a summary of it. It's going to be a pretty good start. Symbotic 10Q. No, that's old. That's from June. I want the new one. Symbotic. Oh, did I put that? Make sure I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. Somebody says made 90% on coin curls earlier today thanks to you. Let's freaking go. Let's go. That's awesome. What's backdoor alpha? No homo. Oh. Does our contact info stay with you if we sign up for alpha? I think so. Let me see. Let me find out. Let me see what I have from you. Let me see what data of yours I can harvest. It's me, guys. This morning, somebody texted me at like 6:16. They was like, "Where's the report, Kevin?" I'm like, "Yes, I was late." I just love looking at your messages. Okay. Somebody had a question. So it says it gives me your age, your gender identity, your city, your join date. Dude, I don't even have your number. Well, that can't be right. How do I text you? Oh, I don't even get your number. It doesn't, at least from what I can see here, it doesn't even give me your number. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Huh? Yeah, I can't see your number. Just send message, but it doesn't tell me what the number is. Oh, that's how they keep you on their app, probably. Fine with me. I mean, it's a good app. That's funny. Das is funny. Somebody claimed I sell your contact information to ad agents. Dude, there's so many haters. It's funny. And they make up the craziest shit. I've never made a penny from selling somebody's contact information. That's crazy. But I do think it's hilarious. It's like anything people could do to be sus. It's funny. Okay. So the 10K is going to be late. We know that. Okay. So, yeah, I guess the last 10Q I have, because their filing is going to be late, is July. But I could probably get their press release from the 18th. Yeah, their press release does have the latest numbers for what they're worth. All right. So let me save that and we'll go through those quickly. Symbotic Q4 fiscal 2024 11 20. An error occurred. Well, that's very annoying. Got it. Okay. So here, here we go. Free cash flow, negative. So that must be the CapEx, possibly because of that Georgia facility. Have you seen the YouTube videos exposing you at house hack scam? Oh, everything's a scam. Everything I do is a scam. Yeah. So I can't wait to IPO house hack, and people make a crap load of money. That's my dream, obviously. And then all those haters are gonna look like losers. But there's no shortage of people like, there's a disclosure. That's a scam. It's like, whatever, man. Look, you could listen to people who have nothing better to do than to shit on people, or just come for the value and make up your own mind. If you think I'm a scam, don't invest with me. If you think nobody's going to work harder to do what's best for the people who support the channel and who invest with me, then it will always be my goal to reward that. Okay, so what do we have here? So September systems. This was the margin. I've done this. 548 divided by 466. So from the last quarter, we did have a 17.5% increase in systems revenue divided by 486. 18.5% total increase. And their gross profit increased 53%? How? That can't be right. That has to be because of like a one-time. That must be where the one-time is. This must be due to Q3 one-time hit they talked about, because that seems crazy. So if I go to the year end, I don't know, man. That's still pretty good. 279 divided by 189. 47.6%. Wow. That's a nice move in gross profit. Between these two numbers here. I always like to put a little loopy-doopy between the two things here, so I know what I'm referring to. And then total revenues did blow up as well. Yeah, 55% here. And that's quarter over quarter. The growth expectations are pretty high for the company. Net income went positive, barely. SG&A actually shrunk. That's great. This much of an increase of income with an SG&A shrink. What about year over year? Whoa. They cut their OPEX by 12%. That's fantastic. Year over year. That's very good. Dang. I have to say, this is really nice. The accounting issue is bullcrap, which is great because you get a buy the dip opportunity. Like when we first did a valuation on this company in the course member live stream, I'm like, it's like a 2 peg. It's not really like a screaming deal. Dude, now it's a 1.3 peg. This is great. Over the years, you've made me so much money. It's a blessing. Oh, thank you for that. They hate because they have small PP. There you go. I can't wait for House Hack to go public so people can stop talking SH9T. There you go. Dude, we've got so much stuff cooking for House Hack. It's extremely exciting to me. But you know, we shall see. We shall see. All right. Okay. I want to finish this. So great. All right. Assets. 727. And then we've got accounts payable, current liabilities, other liabilities. They have like no debt. That's crazy. I mean, the expenses here, deferred revenue. Oh my gosh, it's mostly deferred revenue. Wait a second. So I actually really have expenses and other liabilities of 42 million plus 165.6 plus 175.18, 382.8 mil in debts, payables, 727 mil in cash, 450 mil AR inventory. This is great. Cash flows. So what happened here? What are they acquiring? Inventories. They didn't actually acquire. Prepaid expenses. Oh, they may not have received their inventories yet. So they're buying materials. That's why. Oh, they're building up their inventories to actually build. This sounds like a ramp up. Because right here, prepaid expenses, this is what shot up. Yeah, I mean, you almost had a year-end worth of prepaid expenses. Likely inventory buys. IMO. We'll see when we get the full 10K. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Okay. So now, what was their outlook? Outlook. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's already priced in now at this point, so that doesn't matter so much. Okay. Good. All right. Yeah, so this is like, yeah, somebody's like, oh, it's kind of like a little free sample of a course live. A little bit. This is stuff I like to do stuff like this every single day. And oh wow, shout out to those of you that joined. Beecher, Hector, Steven, Jiling, Jared, Elias, Matthew, Maninder, Mario, Ramonda, Daniel, Miguel, Josephine, Jeff. Thank you all so much for joining. Yeah, really, I think the value that is coming in that Trump course is it's just going to be unmatched. Really, really good. It's my version of trying to give back is provide as much freaking value as possible. All right, so now let's do a summary of this. Sum up Symbotic. Not to be confused with symbiotic. Okay. Put that over here. Put that over here. Put that over here. So we can do a summary. Put them in here. Here. Put that over here. And that. Oh yeah, and there it is. Okay, good. Okay. Who's ready for a summary? And then let me actually do a quick TA on it too. Let's go. Was this a SPAC? Holy crap. I think it was a SPAC. Whoa. A SPAC that actually like went up. Wow. How's Enphase? Enphase is its first weak green candlestick. All right. So let me get the retrace. 875. Actually, you know what? I'll go top down because I want to see where we can go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, we're gonna go 875. 875. That's right. I wish they'd let me change the opacity of that a little bit. Yeah, they don't though. Oh well. All right, so where do we sit right now? We're just below the 29 or the 30 level here. Yeah, high growth expectations, but exciting. Rocket Lab is a SPAC that's up. That's true. They're catching up finally. That's true. It's true. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Seriously, wow. Shout out to those of you oh, okay. Buying the Trump course. Really appreciate it. Oh, I have to call someone super quickly.
Consumer trends that he's seeing is Alexander Lasik, the CEO of Pandora Group. Alexander, it's great to have you here on this Black Friday, perhaps an appropriate day to feature a prominent retailer. Take us through what you feel is the story for the American and global consumer at this point.
So if we look at the category, it's been in a rather flattish state over the last few years. Even some markets have been in a negative territory. Our last 5 quarters, Pandora has delivered a double-digit organic growth. So we have good momentum going into the holiday season. As you mentioned, 40% of the annual profit happens in the last quarter. So this is incredibly important, not just for us, but for the whole industry. And I think we are seeing people are excited. I read the other day that the U.S. consumer sentiment is up a little bit in November, which obviously bodes well for today. So this is a big day for us.
Alexander, how much of the success that you are seeing right now with Pandora and jewelry in general is due to broader macro tailwinds from the global economy, perhaps consumer sentiment, and how much do you attribute to your own company's specific product innovation or offerings?
So the underlying category is actually, as I mentioned, slightly negative probably at a global level. So the kind of double-digit growth we have experienced is down to what we do. So this is big market share.
Oh, man, when these CEOs get on here, yeah, we have great company. All right. Do you offer any scenarios in your programs for dealing with an inherited 401k and Roth accounts? Both inherited? Well, here's what I'm going to do for you, because we do have retirement accounts in Trumponomics. I'm going to write down inherited 401ks, Roths, and other inheritance considerations. I will also put tax planning for family trusts, tax planning for family trusts and family real estate. So guess what? Because you asked, you will receive. You know, my father-in-law always said, "Ask and you shall receive." You must ask for the order, he always said. It's kind of, you know, it kind of applies to like dating too. It's like, you want a girlfriend, you think the girl's cute, but you never ask her out. It's like, well, how do you expect to receive if you never asked? Maybe she'll just magically ask you. Yeah, right. All right. Those with closed mouths do not get fed. That's a great line. All right. Let's try to do a summary of Symbotic over here. Well, it's Black Friday, and we got to talk about Symbotic, the future of, quote, robust robotics. I just did a fundamental deep dive on this company, and I want to break it down with you. Now, the stock is rebounding a bit today, so in the short term, it's probably a chance it might slow down into the closing, and there might be a buying opportunity after you get a 10% bounce on a day. But this is a more long-term focused video. Yeah, it's Black Friday. Yes, there's a sale going on at meetkevin.com for the Trump course. Trumponomics, taxes, family trust, entities, business, not just motivation, negotiations, marketing, stocks, crypto, options, trade alerts, live streams, everything, real estate analysis. It's going to be my best course ever, and it's on Black Friday sale. But I want to talk about this company. It's a robotics automation company. And what's really remarkable is they are going to be a part of, in my opinion, what will be the worst longer term recession ever. Now, this sounds crazy because it's like, wait, if you're bullish on a company, but you're worried about a recession, that seems bad. I think the next recession will drive a lot of unemployment. And part of the reason I think that is because of robotics. Now, a lot of the robotics we see here, this is robotics that already exists. Right? These are current robotics. This is old news. Like, this company has been doing robotics for quite a while now. In fact, they SPAC'd back in 22. So it was sort of part of that SPAC craze. And as a result of that SPAC craze, they've actually come down quite a bit. Right now, they're trading for about $26.42. They were trading for as high as $64 after the SPAC craze, right as the artificial intelligence revolution began. You really saw that right around March of 23. They had a really big run, but boy, they've come down quite a bit recently, down to these lower fibs over here, in part because of a delay of their annual filing. And their annual filing is being delayed because of restatements they have to make to some prior quarter financial statements. And that sounds really scary. It's almost like Supermicro, which has been very volatile after their sort of accounting issues, which I'm actually bullish on the Supermicro valuation and will stay bullish until they get probably closer to my price target, which is $87. But anyway, Symbotic, which is so easy to say symbiotic, although it's not. Symbotic is really interesting because if you actually look at the earnings call of this company, you'll find that the restatement of these financials doesn't affect their annual numbers at all, not a dime. In fact, in their annual report, they talk about, or sort of their latest call, you could see it right here. Before I discuss our financial results, I want to address the issue of restatements to quarterly financials. As we were reviewing our business processes and preparing our full year financials, we identified occurrences during 2024 where goods and services related to specific milestone achievements were expensed prior to the corresponding achievements. So in other words, they took an expense too early. But because it's all wrapped up into 2024, they expect no impact on their full year results, but there could be some restatements for like Q3 versus Q2 versus Q4, which is understandable. I look at this as really a nothing burger, mostly because right now the company, it's got a high PE ratio, but it's also got a really high growth rate. The PE ratio right now on a forward 2025 level is 95, which is very high. But they're expecting to grow by 69.8% for each of the next 4 years after September of 2025. That's pretty good. So when you divide that out, you're actually looking at this as a PEG ratio of about 1.36. Now, I actually did a course member live stream on this company, and we did a fundamental analysis on them before their stock crashed after the accounting restatement. Their stock crashed like 37%. So we're making this video after that crash. And now we're looking at it like, okay, well, is it a good deal now, right? So if you actually jump over to what I wrote in my course member analysis sort of summary section, because we did a live stream on this, you can actually see on November 20th, I reviewed the company. This is going to look a little busy on screen here, but don't worry about it. Over here in this corner, you'll see I posted the Q4 Symbotic earnings call with annotations and the annual report, the 2023. And we talked about how they used contract manufacturing, which I'll talk about the benefits of that in just a moment. They're hedging their exposure to prices of steel going up. But something that's remarkable is here I wrote, it's trading for a 2 peg, selling for 10x sales, not a particularly good, not a particular deal right now, I wrote, but absolutely a stock to watch in robotics. Now, what's really interesting is now you have this nothing burger accounting error. And to me, I'm looking at that going, whoa, now there's an opportunity, because now you're not buying it for a 2 peg. You're actually buying it for a 1.3 peg. The accounting error is nonsense. I get a cheaper valuation on a good company. And now contract manufacturing, I want to say I actually really love contract manufacturing. Enphase does contract manufacturing as well, because you can sell a product and a service, but you don't have the responsibility of constantly keeping people employed in a factory and making sure the quality control is good. Instead, it's somebody else's responsibility to make sure the quality control is good. And if it isn't good, you don't buy it. So Symbotic has to issue these sort of pre-orders for parts and inventories, which can sometimes make their cash flow look a little lower. Like in this last quarter, they had some negative cash flow. So some folks are like, oh, I don't know, but their cash flow negative. I believe a lot of that is just due to them pre-ordering from their contract manufacturer. And contract manufacturing is great, especially if you have a slowdown, because you can really quickly adjust how much you're spending. And you're not sandbagged by keeping all the people employed. You know, NVIDIA is a contract manufacturer too. Tesla, on the other hand, actually also manufactures, but that gives them kind of a little bit of an anchor. It does also come with other competitive advantages though. But this is their cash flow statement. And when you look at the prepaid expenses and other current assets section here, you can see that they've prepaid in 1 quarter, in 3 months here, almost an entire year's worth of prepaid expenses and other assets over here. So that alone right there, I think, is what sort of whacked their cash flow, which is sort of expenses going to this. But they are profitable, at least this quarter they're profitable. Expect them to be continue to be profitable. You look at a balance sheet consideration, they've got $727 million in cash, $382.8 million in debts and payables, not including obviously like deferred revenues, because, you know, that's part of the cash that they have now. So they have to offset that until they earn it and then pay taxes on it. And then about $450 million in accounts receivable and inventory. So I think you're a very well capitalized company. I think the balance sheet is very strong. But something that makes me very excited too is their partnership with SoftBank and how they're controlling costs. Both of these are a game changer, in my opinion, and they make me pretty excited about the company. Now, I'm also very excited about the Trump course, which is on pre-sale today until December 17th. Really, learn more about that. Just go to meetkevin.com. Watch the video where I talk about the Trumponomics course. Somebody left me a comment the other day. They're like, "How you don't have a crystal ball. How do you know what Trump's going to talk about?" Well, I don't. And that's why I actually wrote that I expect 70% of the course to be live December 17th, and then another 30% to come out throughout 2025 as Trump's strategies and plans become a little bit more clear for laws that might get passed or whatever. Then we update the course with that information, so we get to work together on it and come up with plans for entities and trusts or whatever. I really think this is a course for everybody to have, especially at the price it is. It's very, very reasonable. You pay once, you get lifetime access to this Trump 2025 course, and it's good for beginners, good for advanced. It's just going to be good for everybody. It's going to be speed you right up to where you need to be. So look at their expense management at this company. So you look at expense management. What you actually have is you've got a company that is growing revenues year over year by about 55%. We expect earnings per share to grow by 69% per year, which is remarkable. And part of that is because they're just cutting their SG&A, but they're still growing. Over the last year, they shrunk SG&A by 12%, and they still grew 55%, which is remarkable. And it somewhat implies that maybe these products are really selling themselves. And one of the other ways that they're trying to sell their own products, well, there are actually two ways. One is with SoftBank, and another is through acquisitions. See, this company just acquired this company called VOBot, and they mentioned in their earnings call that they're open to doing more acquisitions because they think there are a lot of opportunities in robotics right now. And so they just acquired this small private company called VO Freemove. It's basically a LiDAR-based company that helps robots not kill the humans that they're working with. That's just like the really quick TLDR that I take away from this. And Symbotic now owns this company. Now, VO is a private company, possible human, minimum distance to hazard, whatever. So by acquiring this, they actually increase their pricing power and their moat. Now, that actually is why I'm so excited, like ridiculously excited about robotics, that I've actually created a VC around this. It's robohack.ai. We're limited to 99 investors right now. So if you want in, sign the DocuSign. We will text you more information this weekend. If you sign a DocuSign, by Monday, we'll text you more information. And we're only going to be able to pick 99 accredited investors, but we expect 20, probably closer to honestly like 40 to 50% of our investments to go into robotics. And then we'll have money going into space exploration, nuclear energy, quantum compute. This will just be private. Like this is venture capital, right? Private world. But very, very excited about what's going on with robotics. But anyway, so they acquired this company, but not only did they acquire this company, if you jump over to their agreement with SoftBank, this is really interesting. They want to come out with something called warehouses as a service. So WAS. Okay, this is Symbotic. Warehouses as a service. Basically, what they're doing is they're buying this massive factory for like $125 million, well, warehouse basically, outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And they're partnering with SoftBank, not a bank, the investment group, and they are taking a 35% ownership of this green box warehouse as a service facility. But with the partnership of this, SoftBank agrees to help pay for over $7.5 billion of robots from Symbotic. So like if warehouse as a service works, great, Symbotic gets 35% of the upside. But Symbotic is SoftBank is taking 65% of the risk, while Symbotic gets to manufacture the robots, sell their robots to this facility where they could basically do like Amazon fulfillment, but not through Amazon for companies. And they actually think by doing this, they'll sell more of their robots because people will see this and they'll be like, oh, this is such a good warehouse as a service. We not only want this for ourselves, but we want to buy your robots to make it happen for ourselves. So they see this as an ability for companies to reduce inventory and costs. It's like contracting out your warehousing to robotics, right? SoftBank does get shares in Symbotic, so there's sort of this mutual relationship as long as SoftBank is paying for those robots. So there's some conditionals there. You could read those details that were on screen. Another thing that was fascinating, which actually came up in the earnings call. Let's find my earnings call here. In the earnings call, I want to get to where they talk about vision. Take me just a moment to find it. But when they talk about vision, what they do is they say like robotics today, they're not really there yet without vision, that they're kind of blind. And the problem is with that is what happens when products break or spill or whatever, the robots don't have vision. And so what they're doing now is they're introducing vision technology and artificial intelligence to the robots, and then they're selling a software that they make like 50% margin on, which is great. And there's the play, right? So now you're acquiring companies like VO so you can have the LiDAR-based vision, train the robots on what to do, and really take the entire robot fleet they already have, improve it, sell more of the software, but then also make it easier to sell more robots in the future. This is where they talk about green box, how they think it'll be a couple years before they actually build that and they get the WAS up. So, potentially kind of getting in early. Obviously, the big downside of Symbotic is if growth stalls for robotics, you're going to have a problem. I just don't see a future, even in a recession, or like if there's an AI crash, like NVIDIA slows down or whatever. I just don't see how warehouse robotics doesn't keep doing, good. But I could be wrong. I could be really wrong here. I want to buy this stock. I do not own this stock right now. I do not have any call options or puts. So I don't have anything on this right now. I have literally zero exposure to this right now, but I want to buy. They talk about, this is interesting too. They talk about Walmart Mexico and sort of backlog, how even though they didn't add any to their backlog this quarter, they expect to add to backlog in the next few quarters. And really where they get very excited is not only about hedging themselves against steel costs, but they get excited about some uncertainty in warehousing being removed after the election, but specifically what's going on in South America. They think that as they're able to expand with these products to South America, they're going to be able to explode their total addressable market. And what's crazy, they think, is if they can control their factory robots with vision sensors, they could basically remotely control the robots from anywhere in the world, which basically means you could hire very, very cheap labor in like Indonesia or India or the Philippines or China to supervise your robots in factories at local distribution facilities close to the end customer that are all being run by robots using vision-based AI. They're only doing 2 distribution centers right now for Walmart Mexico, and they have like 40 or 50. So they're like, yeah, there's going to be competition, but our TAM could literally be ridiculously huge. And so they think by doing the WAS model, they're going to be able to really demonstrate what their total addressable future market is. So this is pretty exciting. I think the upside in the valuation comes a lot from not only increasing robotic sales, which they're not even pricing in right now, but it also, a lot is already priced in, right? But I'm saying like in South America or whatever. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, that's so good. But I think a lot of their enthusiasm comes from software as well. So if this company as a contract manufacturer can start demanding a higher peg, the valuation here could balloon. I'll run a price target analysis on it. So I'm going to go for a 2027. And what I'm going to do, let's get this ready together here. Okay, so for a future valuation, I'm going to take a future peg. Right now we're at about 1.36. And then we're going to use a future peg formula on 2027 numbers. I'm going to give you Wall Street based on my pegs. So Wall Street would have us at 85 cents in 2027. I'll give them a 50% growth rate, which is high. That's going to slow down. That's down from the 69%, right? And then I'll give them a 1.67 peg. So I'm going to reduce the growth rate just to be conservative a little bit. I'm going to go with a 1.67 peg, which basically doesn't account for software at all. And to me, this is a $71 company with those numbers. So $71 company, 2027. It's trading for $27 right now. Then, and that's on the more conservative non-software valuation basis. If I stick with the 69% growth, which might be a little aggressive, but maybe not, because that's when the WAS will come out, growth could explode. If I stick with 69% growth, I go 1.67 on the peg, and I go with the earnings of 85 cents. 2028 targets $98. 2027 target is $98. The 2028 target, $1.50 is the current Wall Street estimate, times 1.67 times, I'll go 50% growth again. It's $125. So I think there's a lot of upside. I'm going to say my price target's probably here between 70 to 98 because I like to stay conservative. And so I think that's a low target. But I'm going to go with 71 to 98 bucks on this company. And I think they're recession resilient. So this is really exciting to me. So I do have also a little bit more from the company on, also just to make it clear, this video is not sponsored by them. No, it sounds like I'm very bullish, but that happens. There are creators who get sponsored by stock companies and to pump the stock. And I'm like, well, that's disingenuous if you don't disclose that. So I just want to disclose that I am not. Although I'd love to tour their factory, honestly. If I could get a tour of what they're doing, or, well, they're contract manufacturers, or even just where they've deployed something, that'd be sick. But here's just an example of a warehouse robot that they're working on now. And this is sort of their next gen robot. Here's one that they have on, they have one version that's on rails right here. These are kind of like robotic forklifts, right? And then they have another version that is sort of like your Amazon bot that can rotate and pivot and drive around like a forklift on the floor. So kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could see here when you sort of just click around on their website. I generally don't love watching marketing videos, but they talk a lot about their robotics, and basically they compare it to full self-driving in cars, except I actually think these devices have a better chance of going far further faster than full self-driving cars, because I think the regulation is easier, but you're also in a controlled environment, right? Like when you're in a controlled environment, you don't actually have to worry about some random guy running a red light. You're in a factory, so you have less poopies to worry about. Anyway, that's my take on Symbotic, ticker SYM. Sorry, I'm bullish, but yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Go check out the Trump course. We do analysis like that almost daily in the course member live stream, by the way. So you get that in the Trump course, in addition to the actual Trump-related content that's coming out. So you want to know art of the deal, play your Trump card, all that kind of stuff. I'll put my spin on it and break it all down for you. It'll be really fun. Anyway, rent a warehouse, says somebody in the chat here. Somebody says, big juicy TAM. Yes. Let's see here. Somebody says, that's why I invest in QCOM. Let the bots do the work. People can just go buy baby oil or something. Okay. Dadcoin says, Trump course just signed. Let's go. Thank you so much for joining, Dadcoin. Thank you for your impressive work, says Robin Space Hood. I love that. That's cool. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah, you got it. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Do you offer? Oh, yeah, that's the one I answered already. Tiffany. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have that in there. That's awesome. Okay, just a shout out to some of those of you who just joined. Tarina, Naveen, Robert, Venkat, Sergio, Sergey. I'll have to work on your name. We'll work on that together. Dustin, Martez, Jay, William, Kevin. What's up, man? Andres bought the bundle, the Financial Advice Library and Trumponomics. And it looks like Sergey also got Trumponomics and the Wealth Library 99 extra there. Awesome. Very good. That's Symbotic for you. All right. I'm going to hop on over here for a moment, and I want to take a peek and see what else is going on in the news. Happy Black Friday, by the way.
Elon Musk floated the prospect of acquiring the toy maker to secure the rights to Dungeons and Dragons. Musk posted this idea on X just a day after saying that XAI is going to start an AI game studio. Shares of Hasbro up just over 1% on just his tweet. Mike?
Well, it's only a $9 billion market cap. It's a trifle, I guess, once you see what his net worth has done recently. All right, Christina, thank you. We're just getting started. Up next, the holiday shopping season is officially underway. Which retailers should investors be watching here? Top retail analyst Simeon Siegel is with us after this break. And as we head out, a live look at the Mall of America on this Black Friday afternoon. We are live from the New York Stock Exchange. You're watching Closing Bell on CNBC.
Switch.
Is when you have on-trend products that are very innovative, the consumer tends to purchase those throughout cycles and in good and bad economic times. Now, we happen to be in a time right now where the consumer is extremely strong, times feel very good, and we've had record results for the entire year, posting double-digit revenue growth and EBITDA growth.
Vonnie, you know something's expensive when you go to the website and you like click on it and then the price says inquire. It doesn't actually
Yes, inquire.
have the price.
I was completely distracted. I didn't hear a thing that Elias said after he said $500,000 worth of diamonds. Elias, that's
the average.
Really
it's the average.
yes, the average. There is this idea, though, that we're now seeing some consumers be a little bit more choosy, right? So we're having the maybe people who earn $100,000 and more shop at.
Yeah, we've heard this for a long time. This is old news.
Before. Are you seeing that across your brands? Because you do have a massive portfolio of the most expensive goods and, affordable goods.
We've been seeing.
Wow, the queues keep going. 90 bips. Was not expecting. That was not in my bingo card today. Dude, and coin and micro going down? Oh, yeah, because we lost 90. Oh, wow. Yeah, not only did we lose 98, but we lost 97.4. That's not good. What's up, Lisa? I got that notification you just joined. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. Lisa, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the Trump course. I will not let you down. I really think you're all going to love this. I put my whole reputation on it. Nobody knows. All right, what else are we doing? I want to look at what's going on with that Elon thing. All right, let's see here. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's go find out what's going on with Elon Musk. Hugo says no luck on the alpha link. Go to metkevin.com/alpha backdoor. No, backdoor alpha. metkevin.com/backdoor alpha. Okay. By the way, you can also shadow me as we get into this next topic here. You could shadow me if you go to meetkevin.com. At the bottom, there's a section where you can shadow me when we go look for real estate. So if you're interested about in-person consulting or, by me and the team, and you want to learn about real estate, you could bundle that with the Trump course. You could also buy that standalone, get a +1, whatever you want. The choices are yours. All right. Close that out. I always like to, between things that I'm covering, make sure you save your research. Symbotic, green box. Trump team. Uh-oh. Hold on, what is this? Trump team has Ivy League in sight as it gears up attacks on DEI. Ask conservative activists to prevent a plan to slash federal funding for universities that refuse to scrap diversity and equity programs. Wow. Wow. That's, I mean, he did say that. He did say he was going to do that. All right, let's go back here for a moment.
Are very rare and exotic. It could be blue diamonds or pink diamonds. These constitute less than 1% of entire diamond supply in the world. And our buyers look for authenticity in that. So we are not seeing the same pressures that you're seeing through the moderate price traditional small white diamond market.
Yep.
That part of the market is seeing up to 50% price compression, and it's very hard to make up for that with volume.
I'm curious as to what your next acquisition targets are. We are, hearing time and again from bankers that, next year is going to be the year for M&A to really make a resurgence. And if that's the case, well, you'll be in the market probably, right? So where should we be expecting you to look?
Bonnie, we are always in the market. Unfortunately, over the last 2.5 years, it has been an incredibly weak M&A market. A lot has been made of the current administration and the FTC chair, who has been anti-M&A. That's for the larger transactions. Our transactions are typically in the $200 to $500 million range. And because they're platforms, they're typically not getting as much scrutiny. The problem has been with rates that have been rising and monetary policy, which has been tight, that stifles M&A, especially in the universe where we are, where we compete with mostly private equity firms. So we are hearing the same thing. Bankers are telling us that M&A activity is picking up. There's going to be pitches. They're doing pitches right now in the first quarter, and second quarter should be demonstrably better. I would say in terms of what we're looking at, it goes back to what I started with. We look for innovative and disruptive businesses, but more importantly, businesses that align with our value set within the consumer, healthcare services, and industrial tech markets. Well, and we anticipate some of those companies coming to market.
Just really briefly, Elias, because we're out of time, but I'm curious, do you think Lena Khan will stay on? Will she be welcome under the new administration, given that JD Vance is pro-small business, apparently?
I couldn't imagine that in a million years. I think that this administration and Lena Khan's views are polar opposite.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Elias Sabo, CEO of Compass Diversified Holdings. They got a huge portfolio all the way from those little innovative shoelaces that I use every day when I'm biking, these boas on my Specialized shoes, Lugano diamonds, which I think we spent a lot of time talking about. You use those every day too? Yeah, I don't use those every day. Did you notice the majority of our conversation was about those?
I did notice. It's only pink diamonds for me from now on.
Close to $1 million pieces of jewelry. They work with brands like Nike, Primaloft, and they got Primaloft too. So they got a great view of the consumer. Hey, speaking of a great view of the consumer, on the other side of this special edition of Bloomberg Markets, we're going to do a deep dive into the data that one company is seeing as consumers are opening their wallets and pocketbooks on this Black Friday. That's next on Bloomberg.
Huh. All right. Oops. Yeah, they're also doing a lot of coverage on Black Friday sale, like actual, what's it called? Data. I'm going to go through that in a moment. But what I want to start with, what was I going to do? Oh, Elon. I wanted to see what he's saying about the game studio situation. Let's see here. Okay. Where did... All right, let's just look at it together here. Elon. Hearing aid feature. Elon Musk says this quote, made a simple algo that makes people make fewer dumb mistakes, and it's incredibly powerful. Make requirements less dumb. Delete the part or process or process step. Optimize, accelerate, automate. Nice. I like that. This we talked about yesterday.
It's annoying when video game gets interrupted by some DEI woke bullshit, and I'm like, Jesus, I was playing a video game here. Can you just leave the video games alone? You know, you don't want to do things that damage art. So it breaks you out of the story. It's really annoying when video game gets interrupted by some DEI.
Okay, so where's the Hasbro comment?
Clear about this is what we're doing. We're going to be very open and transparent and be very clear about this is what we're doing. Here are the issues. This is the math for what's being spent. So we're going to make the spending lower. And if somebody's got a better idea for how to make the spending lower, tell us. But if we don't, we're going to bankrupt the country. And so we got to do something. And it's got to be like some pretty big moves. Yeah. I'd say like drain the swamps. There's so many swamps. We're going to be very open and transparent and
Okay, I don't see his tweet on it, so I'm gonna just Elon Hasbro. Oh, maybe. How much is Hasbro? November 28th. Yeah, I guess that's what he is talking about. How much? That's funny. Look at this. Rip Dungeons and Dragons. Jason, the project lead of D&D and senior designer, explains the intended audience is woke and that WOTC doesn't give a damn about what Elon Musk thinks. Any blowback from your comments? I and the editors agreed the problem. Wouldn't that be the editors and me agreed the problem? Agreed the problem. Are you talking? Is that the object or the subject? It depends. Agreed. That's the action. So it's the editors and I in this case is what it should be. Agreed. The problem was going to be from progressives and people from underrepresented groups who justly took offense at language. Okay. I didn't write the preface until late. I wrote it to address the concerns. It's never occurred to me that I aroused the ire of the grognards. What the hell is that? What's a grognard? Grognard. An old soldier of Napoleon. A grunt or a grumble. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. 1 second, please. There we go. Grunt. Oh, I see. Okay. It's obvious now that I look back on it, but I just don't take those critiques seriously even now. I consider those people not worth listening to, so I don't anticipate their outrage. Okay. He's referring to, of course, Elon Musk's negative reactions to the dismissal of D&D creator whose creations would never pass DEI review. Oh, did they fire this guy? Was a game designer, best known for co-creating the tabletop D&D. Okay. So what, he's 69 years old. Okay, what, he got fired? Let's see if I can get the article on it. Leaving. Okay, occupied with a movie. Movie ambitions discarded. That was a long time ago. Later work. Oh, he died? Third month. So and the next 2 volumes were... That's sad. Huh. Don't really know much about this. Yeah, he died in 2008. How interesting. Drama. Anyway, Bitcoin's bouncing back up a little bit. All right, let's jump in over here, get a little bit more news.
Roughly on average, in a year, what kind of reward would a consumer expect to get?
Oh, it's entirely dependent on the shopper, right? It's a rewards platform that rewards a consumer for frequency. and for average order value, right? So the more you buy, the more likelihood it is that the brands that you love the most are going to be paying attention to that and giving you more rewards to come back more frequently. So it really is engendering loyalty and frequency, and that's how the brands and retailers view us differently than what they can do on their own with their own base of shoppers.
So we're already starting, we're in the midst of the holiday shopping season, Julian. We're already starting even in recent months to get some of those consultant reports out with how much they think consumers are going to spend. We talked about a Deloitte report out earlier this week that said that over the holiday period, and especially today, between today and Cyber Monday, consumers are expected to spend 15% more than they spent last year, $650. So a new record there. What are you projecting over at Rakuten?
It's been a really interesting year so far. I think that we are also projecting what would be a record year, both online and also growing in-store sales. But I think that a lot of the data that we've been showing up until now over the past couple of weeks, as well as in yesterday and even this morning, speaks to a couple of really interesting trends that are specific to this year. The first one I would say is around consumer intent, that we see consumers browsing less, but shopping more. So we see on our platform sales are up, average order value is up, but browsing is a little lower. So I think that speaks to perhaps the very intelligent consumer doing their research, making their list, checking it twice, and making sure that they are ready to pull the trigger when they see the best possible value, whether that value is by way of promotional discounts, cash back, free shipping, whatever it is, they're ready to go. And in tandem with that, I think it's also been a very buy now moment since the week after the election, which is to say that we saw a 57% increase in shopping the week after the election versus the week before.
Wow.
And that has continued where there's been a record amount of early shopping happening. So I think that, again, speaks to the consumer sentiment, perhaps the turbulence from an economic standpoint, and them wanting to ensure that they get in now when they feel comfortable that they've gotten the offer that's good enough for them.
Julie, you say you have a mound of rich data, and I'm just curious, who is the Rakuten Rewards signer-upper? So there's so many rewards programs out there now, and no matter where you shop, it seems like you're invited to be part of the loyalty program. What would the niche sort of offering of Rakuten Rewards be that would make me want to sign up for yet another program?
I think the really interesting part about what we do is that it runs the gamut of categories. So we aren't even just focused on traditional retail categories. We yes, certainly have the apparel, health and beauty categories that folks are so interested in buying this time of year, consumer electronics, but also verticals like travel, like consumer banking and financial products. So given the fact that it's a one-stop shop for being able to kind of weigh the value of what brands are willing to deliver across categories, it's particularly fascinating to consumers in a way that spans the gamut that a singular rewards platform might not be able to do.
Julie, what do you get out of the Rakuten Rewards program in the sense as a company? You have to entice people to use it. Do you get paid by the retailer, or is the data so powerful that you can then make money selling it?
That's a great question, and it's a very simple model. We are highly protective of consumer data, and we are in no way, shape, or form interested in using it for monetization. The model is entirely an advertising model whereby all of the brands and retailers with whom we work see our platform as a way to get access to shoppers who will shop more frequently and buy more when they get that cash back, which is effectively the permission to buy that they need. And when they give us those advertising dollars, just like any media platform that would get advertising dollars, we simply pass about half of those dollars back to the shopper in the form of cash back.
So we were talking earlier about the amount that somebody spends then dictating how much they get back in rewards, but you must have an average figure or even a mean figure for the Rakuten Rewards devotee, let's say.
It's a very tough one, I'm afraid, but certainly what I think it speaks to is the fact that it varies year by year and person by person. I did want to mention one more trend to you guys, which is super interesting this year, which is that we're seeing still to this moment, as we're monitoring real-time data, that there's this fascinating trend happening where it's a first me, then you season, and by that I mean shoppers seem to be shopping categories that are much less traditional giftable categories. They're very interested in areas like pet care, financial services, health and wellness, particularly CVS, Walgreens. So what we see is people out there, again, probably because of concerns around potential economic trends, they're saying to themselves, I need to get myself shored up with these deals and my family shored up first before I move ahead to think about gifting. We do predict that that's likely to change, shift over a little bit later today, especially as we go into the weekend and Cyber Monday. But it's a particularly interesting trend of consumers interested in using this moment of very high promotional, free shipping, cash back, stackability to do what's right for them and their family first.
Julie, one thing we talk about a lot is what retailers who are traditional brick and mortar retailers have to do to get consumers in the door, given that it's so easy to buy so much of this stuff online. What's the message that you have based on the data that you see, what consumers are doing online, to retailers who are trying to figure out this omni-channel approach?
It's a great question. Part of our business is an in-store capability whereby when a consumer links their credit card on our site, then you're able to achieve the same level of cash back that you might get online going in store when you use that credit card, and it just automatically happens. And that part of our business has grown dramatically year over year. And to answer your question, I think the reality is that we are dealing with a very value-seeking consumer who isn't just content with discounts and prices that a brick and mortar might be able to offer even during a time like Black Friday. They need to know that they're getting more. So a lever like cashback enables these retailers to offer something more that gives the consumer a permission to buy. What I will also say about retailers and brands is that there is certainly, and this is more just holistically as an omni-channel event, is that there is a democratization around where brands can be purchased by consumers. And by that, I mean, retailers are in a way starting to compete with the direct-to-consumer brands themselves that they...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what Nike's whole premise has been, this idea that, like, why buy from a third party, just go Nike direct, basically. Yeah. Interesting. As is the are the Rakuten comments about people spending more money after the election. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, so I don't know that enthusiasm can last. We'll see, but Bitcoin's enthusiasm right now has gone to about 97. All right. So I want to hit this next topic here. So. Did you see EAT up over 270% for the year? What's EAT? Is that the ETF? Oh, Brinker. Oh, wow. Chili's and Maggiano's. No way. Wow. That's pretty impressive. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. I want to hit this next topic, which I think is really interesting that I was just looking at here. So let's do this. 1 second here. Really? Okay. No, I gotta help Lauren. Okay, we'll come back. And Face lost the lead today, is that true? No, yep. I gotta run help with Lauren. Lawrence, help Lauren with something. So we'll catch up. Anyway, folks, thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all. Happy Black Friday. Go to meetkevin.com. Got a course member live stream to catch up on as well. So we'll do that. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks so much. Goodbye. Good luck.